Chapter 22. Lin Luoran looks around the top of the mountain. Under the effect of the wind, the fragrance is everywhere, and she can't find the source. It was a fragrance that she had never smelled before. It was a bit like the fragrance of flowers, mixed with the fragrance of fruits, and a faint medicinal fragrance. It made one's sense of smell increase layer by layer. It was very attractive. Lin Luoran only takes a few seconds to make a choice between going down the mountain and finding the source of the fragrance. If she goes down the mountain faster, she should be able to make it in time, right? Thinking of this, she carefully searches around the top of the mountain. The fragrance of the flowers is vague, and it is blown intermittently by the wind. It is very difficult to locate it. Lin Luoran looks around the top of the mountain, but she still can't find the source of the fragrance. Lin Luoran gives up her sight and closes her eyes to feel the source of the fragrance. The fragrance lingers around her nose and then flies to a farther place. Lin Luoran's nose trembles, trying to trace the source of the fragrance. Finally, the wind is a little bit weaker. The sweet fragrance can still be smelled, but it is not so messy. Lin Luoran closes her eyes and concentrates. She is happy that she has found the source of the fragrance. Lin Luoran opens her eyes and walks confidently to the edge of the cliff without any doubt. Looking down into the valley, he saw that on the precipice 3 meters below the top of the mountain, there was a 3-foot square bluestone platform. It was not connected to the sky, nor was it connected to the ground. It stood alone on the precipice and was very eye-catching. A short plant with dark green meridians and small branches and leaves is grasping a little soil on the bluestone platform. It is growing very well. The flower is black with 4 or 5 small petals. From a distance, it looks a bit like the epiphyllum. At this time, the petals are still clumped together and are about to bloom. Only a flower bud grows between the dark green branches and leaves. It shakes gently with the breeze and gives out bursts of strange fragrance. Lin Luoran finally finds the source of the fragrance, but now she is a little embarrassed. For one thing, the bluestone is not touching the ground, and it is suspended on the precipice. It will take a lot of effort to pick it up. For another thing, she doesn't know this flower at all, and has never even heard of it. With such a strange color, Lin Luoran wonders if it is highly toxic. However, there is one thing that Lin Luoran is sure of. This black flower is definitely not a common one. She can see the reiki of plants. At first, she didn't find anything special on the edge of the cliff. But now, when Lin Luoran stares at the cliff, she finds that there are still flowers, but there is no mist at all. This is strange. Either this black flower was a dead object and had long lost its life essence, or it actually knew how to restrain its aura. Lin Luoran is tempted by the strange fragrance of an inanimate object and the strange flower that knows how to restrain reiki. Black, does it definitely represent poison? That was a big problem. Lin Luoran has an idea. She looks around carefully. It is said in novels that exotic flowers and plants are usually guarded by strange beasts. However, after a while, she sees nothing but a bare bluestone. There is no hair or feces of birds or beasts. Lin Luoran is still worried. She picks up a big stone and throws it on the bluestone platform. After waiting for a long time, she still doesn't see the legendary flower guardian beast jumping out. Lin Luoran laughs. She took the description in the novel seriously. As for how to get down, Lin Luoran has an idea. She leans over the cliff and pulls up a mountain vine as thick as 2 fingers. She feels it is strong. Then she ties one end of the vine to a big tree on the edge of the cliff and holds the other end tightly. Lin Luoran looks at the position and jumps down gently. When Lin Luoran is in the air, the wind blows on her face and she feels a little hot. However, it is only a short distance. Lin Luoran falls on the bluestone lightly and accurately like a leaf. It seems that the bluestone is only a corner of the whole stone. When Lin Luoran stands on it, the stone doesn't even tremble, which means that more of the stone is embedded in the mountain. As Lin Luoran gets closer, the sweet smell of the black flower suddenly bursts into her nose, making her nose itchy and her brain light. Lin Luoran feels uncomfortable, as if she is stepping in a pile of cotton. Lin Luoran suddenly becomes alert. The flower seems to have the effect of confusing people. She must finish it as soon as possible. Lin Luoran is afraid that it is poisonous, so she doesn't dare to pick it up with her hands. She pulls off a section of the mountain vine and lashes it like a whip. The mountain vine brings a gust of wind and hits the bluestone with a faint sound of metal and stone. The dark green plant grows by grabbing the soil washed on the bluestone by the rain. Its root is not deep. Lin Luoran pulls the bluestone hard, and the soil is loosened after dozens of times. She changes the direction of the whip and sweeps to the root of the plant. The end of the mountain vine deftly makes a circle and firmly encircles the root of the black flower. Lin Luoran shakes her wrist, and the force is transmitted along the mountain vine, completely separating the root from the bluestone. Lin Luoran pulls back the whip, and the dark green plant flies towards Lin Luoran with the soil. Lin Luoran doesn't dare to catch it rashly. With a thought, the strange plant with black branches and black flowers is put into the space by Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran breathes a sigh of relief. She is not a cultivator but a master of martial arts. This is not a good place to check the strange flower. Lin Luoran remembers the sound of metal and stone when the mountain vine lashes on the bluestone. She guesses that this stone may be a little strange and wants to take it away. Lin Luoran stamps her feet on the bluestone. The bluestone remains motionless. She guesses that the area of the bluestone must be very large. Without tools, it is difficult to get it out. Lin Luoran hesitates for a while. She is afraid that her father will be worried if he can't find her at the promised place. She decides to take the bluestone away when she has a chance. She grabs the mountain vine and takes a deep breath. She kicks hard on the bluestone with her toes and jumps up lightly. Then she jumps on the cliff, and she has already turned over to the top of the mountain. Lin Luoran is afraid that her father will be worried about her. She inevitably moves much faster when she goes down the mountain. As the saying goes, it is easy to go up the mountain, but difficult to go down the mountain. Lin Luoran takes care of her father and jumps on the mountain with all her strength. When she is about to reach the call, she stops in advance. She tidies up her clothes and hair and finds that there are several holes in her clothes because of the branches. Lin Luoran guesses that her mother will complain about her when she gets back. Lin Luoran thinks and greets her father, who is waiting in the call. "Have you been waiting for a long time? I just found some monkeys in the mountain and chased them away." Lin Luoran makes up a white lie. She can't tell her father that his daughter went to the cliff to pick flowers, can she? Her father will be worried to death. It is the dry season of autumn. Forest fire is not a joke. Mr. Lin carefully puts out the cigarette in his hand and takes out the dry food he brought. He wants to have lunch on the spot. Mrs. Lin needs the rice balls with leftover beef and some vegetables in them. Mr. Lin can eat the rice balls even if they are cold. However, Lin Luoran is here and Mr. Lin still cares about his daughter. He picks big leaves to wrap the rice balls and branches to heat them up. Picnic cooking is very interesting. However, Lin Luoran always feels a little uneasy since she picked so many strange cliff flowers, which are similar to epiphyllum and emit sweet fragrance. It seems that something dangerous is going to happen. If it were before, she would scoff at this kind of unfounded intuition. However, since she got the sacred bead, her spiritual mind has improved. She doesn't dare to belittle these vague feelings. It is better to leave early. Lin Luoran says that she wants to experience life with her father. She coquettishly refuses to let her father heat up the rice balls. Mr. Lin has no choice but to share the cold rice balls with his daughter. They go back while eating. Along the way, Lin Luoran not only picks some rare medicinal materials herself, but also many common ones for her father. They not only fill the bamboo baskets on their backs, but also make use of an empty bag brought by her father. An hour after Lin Luoran and Lin Luoran leave the call, the grass where they stayed rustles. A red strong body looms in the bushes. The bushes and grass cover most of its body. Delicate patterns can be seen on the surface of the red body. When it comes to the top of the hill, the bushes suddenly disappear. The big triangular head of this thing is revealed. It is a red snake as thick as a human thigh. Its tongue stretches and its stinky breath sprays on the grass. After a few minutes, the grass turns yellow. The more the big red snake goes to the top of the hill, the more restless it seems. It gradually speeds up. After a while, The snake moves to the cliff where Lin Luoran used to stand. It puts its big head on the edge of the cliff and looks down. There are some mud chips scattered on the big blue stone. The strange flower, which can help it advance, has long disappeared. The big red snake's eyes seem to be about to spit fire. However, there is no breath left in the air, so it has nowhere to go. The big snake sticks out its tongue and raises its tail to fan on the rocks and big trees. The cliff chips fly everywhere. A big tree with the circumference of a man is swept by the snake, and it breaks at the waist. Chapter 23. When Lin Luoran and Mr. Lin get home, it is about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Auntie Li and Uncle Li are chatting and laughing with Mrs. Lin in the room. The atmosphere is very harmonious. Mrs. Lin is still in a daze when she sees Lin Luoran. She went to the town to withdraw money today. She doesn't know how to use the ATM, so she goes to the counter. The teller checks her card, and a customer manager takes her to a bigger and quieter window. Mrs. Lin is dizzy and doesn't understand what a gold card user is. She withdraws 100,000 yuan, under the whispering service of the teller. Holding the paper bag tightly in her arms, Mrs. Lin asks how much money is in the card. The teller doesn't show any indifference when she meets a peasant woman. She smiles and says the amount in a low voice. Mrs. Lin is still dizzy when she walks out of the bank. She doesn't remember the beginning of the number, but she clearly remembers that there are 6 zeros in the end. Gosh, does it mean that her daughter is richer than a millionaire in the village? Mrs. Lin forces herself to calm down. Holding the 100,000 yuan and the card tightly in her arms, she goes home on Uncle Li's motorbike. However, she feels uneasy all day, for she is afraid that someone will rob her. Lin Luoran knows her mother very well. She knows that her mother is scared by the amount of money in the card. Lin Luoran can't say anything in front of outsiders. Otherwise, she will be regarded as showing off her wealth, which is not something she can do. Lin Luoran takes out the gifts she bought and gives them to Auntie Li and Uncle Li. Being praised for her filial piety, Mr. Lin smiles. Mrs. Lin wants Lin Luoran to stay at home for one more night. Lin Luoran remembers that she will go to work on Monday, and it is not good to be late on the first day. Therefore, she goes to the village head's house and pays 100,000 yuan. She leaves a lot of vegetables in the space at home and tells her parents to eat them. She has to go back to our city. She starts the car and drives away. She can still see her parents standing by the fence and watching her leave in the rearview mirror. Lin Luoran feels sad. She takes out her phone and calls Baojia. Let's go and have a look at the real estate you mentioned the other day. Why do you suddenly change your mind? Baojia is applying the cucumber mask given by Lin Luoran. The cool and comfortable feeling makes her want to moan. Lin Luoran tells Baojia what happened in a low voice. Baojia's scream on the other side of the phone almost breaks her eardrum. God, you didn't lose anything, did you? Lin Luoran feels warm in her heart. This is Baojia, her best friend. She never worries about anything else as long as she doesn't suffer losses. Baojia doesn't care about Lin Luoran's spending of 100,000 yuan. It's a good investment. Luoran, why do I feel that you've been enlightened lately? I had an adventure. Lin Luoran has always been very open in front of Baojia. By the way, have you finished the dishes? I'll bring you some more. Baojia hasn't seen the effect yet, but the dishes are really delicious. Baojia laughs and says, prepare more for my grandpa. Lin Luoran knows that Baojia's parents passed away when she was young. Baojia's grandfather is the one who raised her. It is said that he is an old soldier, but Lin Luoran doesn't know his specific position. Okay, your grandpa is my grandpa. Thank you for reminding me. Lin Luoran forgets about Baojia's grandfather and feels embarrassed first. Okay, you drive first. Don't forget to go to work tomorrow. We'll talk about it in detail then. Baojia also makes soup in the kitchen with the vegetables Lin Luoran gave her. At this moment, Baojia hangs up the phone with Lin Luoran immediately. Time flies when they are chatting. They arrive at the county town in a blink of an eye. The road is wider, so Lin Luoran doesn't have to be so worried. She is a little uneasy, thinking of the strange black flowers in the space. She comforts herself that although she has spent 100,000 yuan this time, there are still some extra gains. However, what are the flowers for? After parking the car, Lin Luoran doesn't bother to pay attention to those old people in the community. She goes upstairs quickly. After she calls someone to change the lock, she closes the door carefully. She cooks some food and hurries into the space of the bead. Another batch of vegetables has ripened, and the straw mat is piled high. Lin Luoran is too lazy to pick them. What she cares about now is the herbs she has planted. The green plant growing by the pool has been low-key and quiet since Lin Luoran ate its fruit. Compared with the plants in the space, it hasn't even sprouted after so many days, let alone flower buds. It is indeed a legendary treasure. It seems that she can't count on it to bear a second red fruit in a short time. The fleece flower spreads its leaves. The vines don't grow very high, but Lin Luoran finds that the green mist around the stem is a little more solid than before. Among all the things Lin Luoran planted, it has stayed in the space for the longest time. 10 days is equivalent to more than 10 years of medicinal effect. It is normal that it has some intelligence. The 7 small ginsengs are growing well. They are not as old as the fleece flower, but they are probably different species. Now the green mist around them is much more solid than that of the fleece flower. As for some common herbs and herbs with abundant reiki, Lin Luoran doesn't know are planted sporadically in the transition zone between vegetables and medicine garden. After watering them with spring water, they all grow well. Lin Luoran can't tell that they have just been transplanted. Lin Luoran focuses on the black epiphyllum picked from the cliff. She dared to plant it after several layers of plastic, so she didn't poison the surrounding herbs. However, in this space full of reiki, the black epiphyllum still looks lifeless. Except for the fragrance of flowers in the space, it is still like a dead thing. Lin Luoran holds a cup of spring water in her hand. She is a little hesitant whether to water the flower or not. In her opinion, the black epiphyllum is almost the same as the green tree by the spring. Last time she watered the green tree, she got a ripe red fruit. If she watered the black epiphyllum this time, what would be waiting for her? Lin Luoran is looking forward to the black epiphyllum, bearing a useful black fruit for her. However, according to the rules of space she has studied, space can shorten time, and spring water is the finishing touch. That is to say, medicinal herbs must grow to a certain age. If the medicinal herb itself blooms, the spring water can make it bear fruit. If it has already borne fruit, the spring water can make it mature. Lin Luoran can't calculate how much spring water is needed to accumulate the efficacy of the fruit to bear fruit and mature fruit. Even if it is poisonous, it can only poison itself after eating the fruit, right? Lin Luoran calculates in her mind. It seems that there is still a long way to go. Thinking of this, she is relieved and pours the water in the cup on the root of the black epiphyllum. Chapter 24. Lin Luoran takes a deep breath. The flower is really fragrant. It's only the first petal. Nothing happens. She doesn't imagine the scene of poisonous fog spreading everywhere. So she runs back and forth several times and pours several cups of water on the black epiphyllum. After doing what she can, Lin Luoran patiently squats beside the black epiphyllum. It is said that the blooming of the epiphyllum only lasts for a moment. She can't miss it. Otherwise, the spring water will be wasted. 1 minute later, the second petal trembles slightly. 5 minutes later, it stretches out like a naughty elf. It sneaks past the first petal and unfolds at an oblique angle. In the 8th minute, the third petal moves. Lin Luoran doesn't know how long she has been squatting. It seems to be just 10 minutes or a century. She can't feel her feet anymore. The black epiphyllum finally blooms its last petal slowly and gracefully. What appears in front of Lin Luoran is a plant with dark green veins, and its stem is as gentle as jade. However, this is nothing compared to its flower. It only has 5 petals, but when it blooms, it is as big as a bowl. The petals are as dark as ink, and they seem to be shining with light. It's fragrant and beautiful. Lin Luoran doesn't know when she stands up. Her nose is full of the tempting fragrance. In her eyes, there is only the intoxicating black epiphyllum. She feels that the petals seem to be enlarging. She thinks it is her illusion. After a while, she realizes that she is leaning over to smell the black epiphyllum unconsciously. 1 inch, 2 inches. Lin Luoran's eyes are blank. It seems that she is fascinated by the strange fragrance of the black epiphyllum. The tip of her nose is getting closer and closer. Finally, she touches the black petal. A glimmer of clarity flashes in her eyes. She struggles to get up. However, the lifeless black epiphyllum suddenly jumps out of the stamen and goes into Lin Luoran's nose. Lin Luoran only feels a buzz in her head, and then she loses consciousness. Her spiritual mind is traveling in a dark tunnel. At this moment, she seems to forget who she is. After a long time, her spiritual mind seems to be tired. It feels very dark and cold here, which makes it a little unhappy. Why is there no light? As soon as this idea comes to her mind, it thinks, hey, what is light? What is light? Why do I know the word light? How strange. The spiritual consciousness racked its brains, but it couldn't figure out what light was. It was so annoyed that it hit the corridor with its incorporeal body. However, the corridor was also incorporeal, and the spiritual consciousness could only pass through the walls. Wall? What a strange word. His spiritual awareness thought gloomily, it must be the wall blocking the light. Block. What couldn't be blocked? What was completely different from the pitch-black darkness was light. His spiritual sense suddenly became happy, because after it had defined the meaning of light, the pitch-black tunnel lit up with colorful, dazzling halos. It's really beautiful. Looking at the shining circle of light with his divine sense, he got a little carried away and didn't pursue what beautiful was. The colorful tunnel was dazzling and beautiful. His divine senses were so happy that they were rolling and playing. It felt much better than the dark and gloomy tunnel from before. After a long time, maybe it was a moment, or maybe it was billions of years, the divine sense felt bored again. This place was beautiful, but without anyone to accompany him, it was too lonely. A thought flashed across the depths of his divine sense like lightning. Human? What is a human? Am I a human? Because it was too lonely, his divine sense began to think patiently again. It would be boring without human company, which means there was human company before. Well, then I am a human. The divine sense defined himself, and there was a muffled thunder in the depths of the colorful tunnel. As for why the thunder was muffled, the divine sense was not interested in thinking about it. Maybe the thunder and lightning were accumulating power. Thinking so, it mainly focused on the idea of what a human was. Humans have bodies. The divine sense thought so, and it was very dissatisfied with its existence as a cloud of fog. It tried its best to jump up and down, bumping into the passageway. Gradually, its misty body began to change. First, it had a torso, then a head, hands, and finally feet. But its face, it couldn't remember what its face looked like. A face had a nose, eyes, and mouth, otherwise, how could it be called a face? It seemed that the fog was pushed away a little, and the muffled thunder in the depths of the tunnel became louder. Many faces with noses and eyes flashed in front of the divine sense. Adults' faces, children's faces, old people's faces, beautiful faces, and ugly faces. It obviously couldn't remember what it looked like, but it felt that these faces were not its own. What about its own face? The divine sense thought hard, and it had to figure it out. The muffled thunder in the tunnel became louder, and the divine sense was awakened. Looking at the depths of the tunnel, it was a little scared. It felt that a monster was going to come out, which made it frightened. Humph, what was a monster afraid of? I have a magical treasure. The divine sense was scared and disdainful. And then it thought about what its treasure was. The treasure seemed to be a bracelet. The divine sense had a flash of inspiration. No, it was a bead. Bead. Just when it thought of this, the muffled thunder in the tunnel became louder and louder, like the tide on the coast, rushing to the beach. The divine sense was very anxious, and it seemed to be something very important to it. The muffled thunder sounded in the tunnel, and colorful lights flashed. Chapter 25. Needless to say, Lin Luoran knows what she is doing. Cultivation. This must be cultivation. Otherwise, how can there be such a magical spiritual mind and inner vision? The only drawback is that Lin Luoran finds the Reiki lurking in her meridians. She tries to command them, but the Reiki completely ignores her. Lin Luoran gets up early in the morning and tries again. Nothing happens. Lin Luoran can only resist the urge to roll her eyes and put this idea aside for the time being. The phone rings. Seeing that it is Baojia, Lin Luoran knows that Baojia is urging her. Sure enough, Lin Luoran sees Baojia's new car waiting for her in the yard downstairs. She goes downstairs with a large bag of vegetables. Baojia loves these things very much now. She takes it and turns over the small tomatoes to eat. Seeing that the smart and glamorous city beauty is now like a happy little mouse, turning over the small tomatoes and sending them to her mouth, Lin Luoran can only hold back her laughter and coughs. I have to go to work. Be careful with your makeup. Baojia closes the car door and pretends to be angry. You didn't drive your own car and asked me to pick you up. Lin Luoran cleverly shuts up and stops arguing with her. Baojia is a well-known designer Qin in the industry, while Lin Luoran is just an intern. It is too pretentious for her to drive a BMW to work. Both of them have to go to the administration building of Lu's jewelry first. Baojia goes to the design department, while Lin Luoran is taken to the store downstairs. The first floor of the administration building of Lu's jewelry was about 200 or 300 square meters. Compared with the jewelry counters in general department stores, it was the largest store of Lu's jewelry in our city as an exclusive place. The manager of the store is a woman in her 30s. She wears a black suit with meticulous makeup and a pair of rimless glasses. She seems to have a good temperament, but she is getting older. Through the lenses, Lin Luoran can see the fine wrinkles in the corners of her eyes that can't be covered by rouge. Hello, Manager Zhao. I'm new here, Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran reaches out her hand and smiles at Manager Zhou calmly. Manager Zhou looks Lin Luoran up and down quickly and calmly. According to the information, Lin Luoran is a 27-year-old newcomer with no work experience. Manager Zhou is not satisfied at first. Besides, she has a high school education, so she thinks that Lin Luoran got in through the back door. The boss didn't necessarily hate people with backgrounds, but if they had a background but no strength, so she couldn't fire them at will, no boss would like them. In the beginning, Manager Zhou defined Lin Luoran as the kind of person he doesn't like. However, now he sees Lin Luoran in person. Unexpectedly, Lin Luoran has a good temperament. She doesn't look like 27 years old at all. Manager Zhou dislikes Lin Luoran a little bit. Manager Zhou smiles. Follow me to get your clothes. The tellers in the store were all wearing suits of the same style as the one Manager Zhou was wearing. The only difference was that the tellers usually wore pinkish-white suits, which were more elegant and matched the jadeite's brilliance. It can be seen that Lu's administrative efficiency is very high. The suit issued to Lin Luoran fits her very well. What's more, within just 2 or 3 days, Lu's name tag has been made. Lu's Lin's Luoran, and to be to be to be to be to. Lu is one, is to a to be, is, a to be the is the to be. Lin Luoran's porcelain-like skin is easy to wear. What's more, when Manager Zhou leads her to the counter, several female Luoran's Luoran show jealousy. Lin Luoran's porcelain-like skin is easy to wear. What's more, when Manager Zhou leads her to the counter, several female tellers show a slightly jealous look. Lin Luoran is a newcomer, and she doesn't have her own counter. She is a migrant and does odd jobs between the counters. Lin Luoran is a newcomer, and she doesn't have her own counter yet. She does odd jobs between the counters, and does what she can. In her spare time, Lin Luoran reads the brief introduction of various kinds of jade and gems given to her by Manager Zhou. If Lin Luoran's memory hasn't improved by leaps and bounds, she will have a headache when she sees this pile of boring data. These saleswomen are younger than Lin Luoran. However, Lin Luoran looks so young that they think she is a new student. At first, they keep a distance from her because of her beauty. After staying with Lin Luoran for a whole morning, they call her Xiao Lin, because of her gentle and amiable temperament. Well, although newcomers usually call her Xiao Lin, Lin Luoran is still speechless when she is called Xiao Lin by a group of people younger than her. Xiao Lin, go and have lunch. The company cafeteria is on the 3rd floor. The one who speaks is Lu Mei. She is not tall and looks straightforward. She has been introducing some details to Lin Luoran this morning. She is close to Lin Luoran. As a newcomer, Lin Luoran offers to be the counter manager. Now that Lu Mei and the other saleswomen are back, it is her turn to do it. It is Lin Luoran's first day here, so she can't correct Lu Mei's Xiao Lin. She smiles and thanks Lu Mei. Then she goes to the third floor for lunch. When she turns around, the revolving door is pushed open, and two fashionably dressed men and women come in. The woman is petite and cute. She matches the young man beside her, who is about 1.8 meters tall because of her high heels. Brother Mu, this is a birthday gift. I won't accept it if it's too cheap. Every beauty in our city is good at using a sweet and coquettish tone, which is a skill that every beauty in our city is good at. The petite woman is indeed good-looking. Her eyes are misty, and her makeup is not too heavy. She is indeed a natural beauty, and makes people feel sorry for her. The saleswomen's eyes light up when they see that both of them are wearing famous brands. They are not crazy about Lin Luoran. The tall man, called Brother Mu, is obviously regarded as a moving banknote. Treasure House specializes in jade and all kinds of gems. As for gold and silver necklaces, they are just jewelry, and have nothing to do with jewelry. They will only be placed on the counter outside. Seeing that the two people are walking straight in, Mu Tianen knows that they are a fat sheep. Mu Tianen finds that the back of Lin Luoran looks familiar. However, Lin Luoran has changed into a professional suit and tied up her long hair, so he doesn't think about it. Besides, his female companion is shaking his arm. Mu Tianen has always been kind to girls. He quickly comes to himself and says, "Of course. You only have one birthday a year. You can choose whatever you want." His female companion's misty eyes light up. She can choose whatever she wants? There are millions of jade in Treasure House. Of course, she wants those treasures the most. The petite woman is not ignorant of the world. She knows that she can only get Mu Tianen if she takes the long way. She can only try to suppress her inner greed and smiles like a flower. "It's too expensive. I don't want it. How about giving me a small diamond?" This time, Mu Tianen is a little surprised. He always changes his female companions quickly. Few of them are so patient. Why doesn't she take the opportunity to blackmail him? However, as the young master of the Mu family, he will be laughed at if he gives her something that is not a piece of jewelry. Therefore, he takes the petite woman to the diamond counter. More than 1 carat and less than 2 carats. You can choose. Very generous. The petite woman's eyes were not the only thing that lit up. She agreed with a smile. Her eyes lingered on the counter, and she really chose a diamond ring that was exactly 1 carat. The price was 48,888, which was considered average among carat diamonds. She is a sensible female companion, but she is a little careless. Mu Tianen sees that she chooses a ring. He doesn't show it on his face, but he thinks so in his heart. At the same time, he wonders if he should change his female companion. This one is too small and the style is old. This hair clip is good. Choose this one. Mu Tianen points to a star-shaped hair clip in the glass counter. There is a big diamond in the middle of it. It is almost 2 carats, and it is dotted with small diamonds. The diamond is twinkling under the light. It is not worse than the stars in the sky. He is talking to Lu Mei. The one who pays is the boss. The price of this hair clip is more than 180,000 yuan, which is several times more expensive than the ring. Lu Mei is such a straightforward customer that she doesn't even need to introduce it. Thinking of the commission, Lu Mei smiles more sincerely. "Sir, you really have a good taste. This beauty has fine facial features and good hair quality. This hair clip is just right for her." Mu Tianen smiles at Lu Mei and hands over his credit card. Lu Mei does it quickly. Mu Tianen takes the hairpin and puts it on the petite woman's head. Not to mention the woman herself, even the counter staff, who are used to seeing rich men and their mistresses spending money here, are almost intoxicated. Mu Tianen's breath is right on top of her head. The petite woman keenly sees everyone's envy, and she can't restrain herself. Mu Tianen smiles and adjusts the hair clip for her. He is very satisfied with his taste. Well, it is a good breakup gift. Chapter 26. A jewelry store is different from an 8-hour clerical job. When Lin Luoran changes her clothes and gets off work, the street is already brightly lit. "Hey, do you still have a raw stone with me? Aren't you afraid that I will embezzle it?" Baojia asks Lin Luoran while driving. After standing for a whole day, Lin Luoran is a little tired even though she is physically strong. She leans on the passenger seat and closes her eyes to rest. I can't take it back until I move to a new house. The place I live now is too unsafe. Baojia knows that Li Onping sneaks into Lin Luoran's rented house. But after all, he is a man who has been with Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran can comment on him. As a friend, Baojia has no right to mention him. Then let's go to see the house early and move away. We should stay away from their family in case they pester us. Lin Luoran nods and agrees. They decide to see the real estate on her rest day. If they move early, she won't have to worry about her parents' life in Li's village. Baojia originally wants to eat hot pot. Lin Luoran has half a foot on the road of cultivation. She doesn't like greasy food recently. She still thinks the food in her space is delicious. After a long discussion, she decides to eat Nihanese cuisine. The taste is certainly not so orthodox. The real top cuisine is usually hidden in private clubs. Ordinary people can't find it even if they have money. Lin Luoran is helpless about these small plates. Even Baojia, who has always liked Nihanese cuisine, feels the salmon is not as fresh as before. She picks up a piece of sashimi. It is fresh, but she feels it tastes bad. You made me picky. I have to be responsible for the supply of vegetables for my family for the rest of my life. Baojia looks around and finally finds the reason why the salmon is not delicious today. Lin Luoran rolls her eyes and wipes her mouth. Let's go back for more food. Shall we go to your house or mine? Baojia threw away the chopsticks without any temperament and said 2 words. Your house. The two of them paid the bill and returned to the mansion together. The alley of Lin Luoran's house can only accommodate 1 car. It will be troublesome if they meet the wrong car. Besides, the street lights are dim, so Baojia drives very carefully. However, it seems that the alley is not so peaceful today. Lin Luoran can hear people shouting and cursing from a distance with her sharp ears. Boy, just pretend to be dead. Get up. The rough voice sounds like a middle-aged man. After a while, 2 kitten-like whines respond to the fierce voice. The neon lights in the city are the best places to hide filth. As a first-tier city in the country, our city is no exception. The car passes by. Lin Luoran thinks it is a street fight, so she doesn't want to meddle. Brother, he seems to be dying. Hearing the word death, Lin Luoran's indifferent eyes move. She has to ask Baojia to reverse the car. The white headlights of the car were very bright, shining in the narrow alley. A few figures of different heights had their hands behind their eyes and were startled. The leader was a middle-aged man with a scar on his face. He was fair and plump, making the centipede-like scar look even uglier. The other people had fierce expressions on their faces. They were actually teenagers. The man they are talking about is curled up in the corner. The man with the knife scar kicks the man, but he doesn't move. It seems that he is in a bad situation. Seeing this, Baojia grabs Lin Luoran's arm. She is afraid that Lin Luoran will sympathize with the man and end up being a good person. Lin Luoran makes a shushing gesture, indicating that she is not going to get out of the car. Baojia asks Baojia to keep quiet. They look at each other and Baojia suddenly honks the car horn. Beep, beep. The car lights are as bright as day and the car horn is harsh. The man with the knife scar knows that the people in the car are attracting people. He stops an impulsive boy and spits on him. Then he turns around and leaves. The harsh car horn finally attracts the patrolling police. Baojia lets go of Lin Luoran's hand, and they get out of the car together. Lin Luoran wants to say that she is as strong as a superwoman, except that she can't fly. Baojia will laugh at her if she says that. Besides, Baojia is in the car. Lin Luoran is afraid that this is an ambush. There are many reports about people setting traps to rob passers-by. What's going on? The patrolling police also find the man curled up on the ground and feel something is wrong. Seeing that it is 2 girls who get out of the car, they talk to Lin Luoran politely. Lin Luoran shakes her head. We found someone committing murder and honked to scare them away. I really don't know what's going on. The policeman is a little surprised, doubting whether Lin Luoran is telling the truth. However, he still took a few steps forward and flipped the curled-up person over. They are all surprised when they see the man. It is a boy who seems to be 7 or 8 years old. Astonishment only lasted for a few seconds before it turned into anger. In front of Lin Luoran and Baojia is a boy who seems to be 7 or 8 years old. He is wearing a tattered cotton-padded jacket, which is dirty under the car lights. The point is that the boy is so skinny that he is only skin and bones. There are crisscross wounds on his face. Some of them are scarred and some are scarlet. Obviously, it is not a day's work. Lin Luoran and Baojia look at each other. God, is this child abuse? The patrolling police are young. It takes him a while to react and call the ambulance. However, they rule out the possibility that the boy was hit by the two women driving a BMW. The crisscross scars and the abnormal complexion did not look like someone who had been hit by a car. The boy's face is red with fever. He opens his eyes slightly. It seems that he doesn't know the three people standing in front of him. If he doesn't know them, they should not be those evil people, right? He is young and his consciousness is blurred at this moment. He struggles to move his hands and says something in a daze. With Lin Luoran's hearing, she can clearly hear that it is two words repeatedly. Help me. Help me. The voice is low like a cat, which is pitiful and sad. Baojia's eyes are red. Lin Luoran squats down and grabs his little hand. She tells him very firmly, "Don't be afraid. You are saved." Lin Luoran's back is to the light of the car. From the angle of the little boy, he can only see her silhouette. He knows that it is a woman holding his hand, but he can't see her face clearly. He only feels that her eyes are twinkling, like the stars in the sky. She is like his mother in his memory. Chapter 27. After they tell each other their ages, Lu Mei finally stops calling Lin Luoran Lin. However, she insists that Lin Luoran looks too young. Lu Mei openly expresses her jealousy and refuses to call Lin Luoran's sister Lin. Lin Luoran doesn't come to herself until she is called. "Yes, I've seen enough. I won't let customers go even if I guard the counter for you in the future." Lin Luoran promises with a smile, which makes other tellers pout. Lin Luoran, who has a good sense of perception, naturally notices their actions. However, no matter in the workplace or in life, if some people like you, it means that some people don't like you. There is no need to force too much. It has been 4 days since Lin Luoran and Baojia found the abused boy in the alley. The boy's high fever subsided yesterday. Lin Luoran also secretly gave him some spring water to help him recover faster. The wounds on his face and body are also healing. However, the most serious injury is his internal abdomen. With the deep shoe prints on his body, it is not difficult to see that he was kicked hard. The internal injury is difficult to heal, and he needs to rest in the hospital for a while. In fact, Lin Luoran and Baojia have helped a lot since they saved him and accompanied the ambulance to the hospital. However, the doctor diagnosed that the boy has autism. The police can't get any clues about his origin. They can't find his family for a while, which makes Lin Luoran and Baojia very worried. Even when the doctor gives him an injection, the boy is full of fear. No matter how the doctor comforts him, he doesn't listen to the nurse at all. He only lives in his own world. Only when Lin Luoran goes to see him and gently holds his hand, the boy will be quiet and obedient. Although he also can't speak, Lin Luoran needs to repeatedly promise him that she will come again before he lets her go. In this case, no one can do anything. The patrolmen on the scene that day are also very responsible. They have been following up the matter and working with Lin Luoran alone, hoping that she can spend more time before finding the boy's family. Although Baojia teases her that she is going to be a mother in advance, Lin Luoran knows that Baojia is also worried. Otherwise, Baojia won't accompany her to the hospital on time every time. After all, the boy was saved by them. If they don't do anything, who else will? Lin Luoran is a little worried about the little boy whose name she doesn't even know. She is absent-minded at work. Lu Mei asks her just now, so she is absent-minded. "Welcome." Lu Mei smiles and greets a customer at the counter. Lin Luoran also calms down her mind and looks up. She is stunned. The person is in her 40s wearing high-end clothes. She is a little dark and strong. It is Mrs. Cui who insists that Lin Luoran and Baojia call her Sister Wang. Sister Wang is in the jewelry business, so it is impossible for her to take care of Treasure House. Lin Luoran guesses that Luoran and Baojia come to see her. They have contacted each other several times after the stone gambling. But today, Lin Luoran doesn't know why Lin Luoran comes to see her. Wang Miao, he is not good looking, but she has a lot of money. Seeing that Lin Luoran is at work, she points at a ring without even looking at the price, and asks Lu Mei to wrap it up. Then she turns to Lu Mei and says, I'm going to talk to Miss Lin. Lu Mei looks at the 1-carat ring that Wang Miao points at. It is the one that hasn't been sold a few days ago. Lu Mei secretly clicks her tongue. 48,000 yuan for a few words is really expensive. Of course, Lu Mei nods and says yes. Her commission this month is quite high, especially during the days when Lin Luoran is working at this counter. There are a lot of bloated bosses who come here, and Lu Mei takes the opportunity to sell a lot of rings. Lin Luoran is simply a blessing for Lu Mei. There is no reason for her to say no. Of course, this is also the reason why the other saleswomen are jealous of Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran smiles at Lu Mei apologetically and follows Sister Wang to the restroom. Luoran, did you offend the Lady of Fortune House? Before Lin Luoran sits down, Wang Miao, he holds her hand and asks seriously. Recently, Lin Luoran has been thinking about the little boy in the hospital. After thinking for a while, she realizes that Sister Wang is talking about Li Anping's new girlfriend, Ellie. However, Lin Luoran is speechless. What does she mean by offending Ellie? Ellie stole her boyfriend and caused her to lose her last job. Why does it feel that the subject and object of the sentence are reversed? Sister Wang, what's going on? Can you tell me? Lin Luoran is not Mrs. Xianglin yet. She doesn't have the habit of telling everyone about her history of hardship. She decides to figure out the situation first. Sister Wang's business is not small, so she won't waste her time talking about it. Seeing that Lin Luoran doesn't say it clearly, Wang Miao, he guesses that Lin Luoran and Ellie seem to have something going on. Since Lin Luoran doesn't want to talk about it, Wang Miao, he doesn't want to ask. She frowns and says, a couple of days ago, the Lady of Fortune House said that whoever works for you is going against Fortune House. Before Wang Miao, he finishes her sentence, Lin Luoran is stunned. Not because she is afraid, but because she feels that Ellie has gone crazy. Noticing that Lin Luoran is not in a good mood, Wang Miao, he doesn't continue. Instead, she pours a glass of water for Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran suddenly realizes that Ellie just said that 2 days ago, so Ellie must have found out that Lin Luoran is working at Treasure House. However, it is Friday now, and Lin Luoran hasn't received any notice from Lu Zheng or anyone else telling her not to come to work. Thinking of this, Lin Luoran raises her head and looks at Wang Miao Yi. Wang Miao, he says with a smile, I was worried that you might lose your job, so I came here today. Now it seems that Mr. Lu is indeed a kind man. Sure enough, Sister Wang has the same idea as Lin Luoran. Treasure House has heard the harsh words of Fortune House. Whether it is Mrs. Lu who is going against Fortune House, or Lu Zheng who protects Lin Luoran for the sake of Baojia, Lin Luoran owes Lu a big favor. Of course, Lin Luoran owes Sister Wang a favor. How can she pay her back? Lin Luoran remembers that Sister Wang asked her how to whiten her skin. Lin Luoran has an idea, but she doesn't know if it will work. If she says it now, it will be embarrassing if she can't do it. Lin Luoran can only keep it in her heart for now. As for Miss Ellie of Fortune House, a small cluster of fire flashes in Lin Luoran's eyes. She doesn't mind that he steals her boyfriend. Anyway, he cheats on her. Besides, she lost her job because she is an ordinary person. What can she do about it? But now, Ellie has announced that she is going to ban her from the jewelry industry for no reason. If Ellie is still the old Lin Luoran, Ellie is definitely trying to kill her again. I don't hate you, do I? Chapter 28. After seeing Sister Wang off, Lin Luoran calms down. Thinking of Li Anping sneaking into her house, and his family making trouble at her house, as well as Ellie's ban order, Lin Luoran realizes that she doesn't want to let go of Ellie. It's Lin Luoran who doesn't want to let go of Ellie and Ellie. However, Lin Luoran still has to think about how to take revenge. Although she is different from before, she is still immortal. She hasn't learned any skills of cultivators yet, except for Reiki, inner vision, fast steps, and unparalleled strength. The most important thing now is to improve her strength. With this idea in mind, Lin Luoran's following days are much more fulfilling. During the day, she still goes to work. Lin Luoran probes all the jade products in Treasure House with Reiki. The bead is like a mouse in a rice barn, happily absorbing Reiki every day. Lin Luoran also understands that the Reiki of heaven and earth, contained in the jade, seems to be very violent for some reason. It is said that jade can nourish people. However, if such a chaotic Reiki is put in the high-quality jade, it will be lucky if it doesn't harm the human body, let alone prolong life. Reality conflicts with the inherent common sense in her mind. Lin Luoran is more willing to believe that the bead has brought her an adventure. The bead is not picky about this kind of chaotic Reiki. Lin Luoran remembers that the Reiki the bead fed back, when she probed the jade material Fatty Chui bought last time, was very peaceful and stable. Thinking about it this way, the bead can be used as a converter of Reiki. After the chaotic Reiki is absorbed by the bead, the jade does not lose its luster or lower its quality. Without the chaotic Reiki, although it is not good for the human body, at least they are qualified accessories now. At least they will not harm the human body. Lin Luoran feels at ease and lets the bead absorb Reiki. As for feeding back, Lin Luoran blushes secretly. Now she feels that she doesn't have enough Reiki. How can she ask the bead to feed back the converted Reiki, like it did to Fatty Chui's jade material? The vegetables and herbs in the space grow better. After half a month, when Lin Luoran tries to direct the Reiki in her meridians at night, she finds that the Reiki is flowing slowly. Although it's just a slight movement, and it takes a lot of energy for Lin to do it, Lin is still very happy. Every time she tries, she sweats and lies on the bed exhausted and can't get up. It is good that she is tired. Being tired means it works. Lin Luoran rarely sweats or feels tired since her physique is changed. This is all thanks to Lin's bold attempt and the mysterious ability of the bead. Lin has seen that the bead can feed back Reiki to jade materials. After thinking for a long time, Lin believes that the bead can also feed back Reiki to herself. With this idea in mind, the bead absorbs the Reiki of jade at a crazy speed. Lin Luoran is like a thief every day. She hangs around other counters to get closer to the jade, so that the bead can absorb more Reiki. In the evening, Lin Luoran uses her mind, and the bead spits out some processed Reiki. The Reiki in Lin Luoran's body is gradually absorbed. After half a month, the Reiki inside Lin Luoran's body finally condenses into lines. Lin Luoran pushes the lines to move slowly along her meridians. Lin Luoran's cultivation progress is slow mainly because she has been absorbing Reiki from the bead passively. However, Lin Luoran has no idea how to absorb Reiki actively. She has the pearl, which is a treasure that defies the natural order, but she doesn't have a set of low-level cultivation method, which makes her feel very disappointed. All kinds of medicinal materials are flourishing in her space. Vegetables are piled up on the straw mats. Lin Luoran has sent some back to her home. Baojia doesn't lack vegetables. Sometimes, she even sends some to Sister Wang's home, and there are still some left. Lin Luoran doesn't lack these things. The only place where the cultivation methods are hidden is still protected by inhibition. Lin Luoran can't go in. God, she doesn't know when the inhibition will be removed. Maybe it will always be there. It is not reliable to pin all her hope on it. Although Lin Luoran has embarked on the path of cultivation, she knows that she is still a rookie. If she doesn't make a breakthrough, she will become a pile of bones in 100 years. The existence of the bead makes Lin Luoran think that she is not the only cultivator in the world. Where are her fellows? When Lin Luoran looks at the foggy starry sky of our city, she can't help imagining that there are countless cultivators living under the same sky. Like the legends, cultivators have a long life, have brilliant magic weapons, cultivate the cultivation methods passed down from generation to generation, and have the ability to fly in the sky and move mountains and seas. However, in front of Lin Luoran is not only the problem of cultivation, but also the problem of where the little boy she saved the other day belongs. In the past half a month, Lin Luoran has been working during the day. After work, she goes to the hospital with Baojia to visit the boy. The good news is that the boy's wounds are almost healed after half a month's rest. The hospital also says that he can be discharged. The bad news is that the police still haven't found any clues about his origin. That is to say, Now that the boy has been discharged from the hospital, he can only go to places like orphanages and welfare houses. It is natural for him to go to an orphanage. However, the boy doesn't talk. His autism is very serious. Not only Lin Luoran, but also Baojia is worried about him. Luoran, why don't you adopt him? Baojia actually wants to keep the boy by her side. However, her family situation is complicated. Baojia can't let her do whatever she wants. She can only encourage Lin Luoran. Adopt? Right, why didn't she think of this idea? It's not that she can't afford to raise the boy now. She can bring her parents here in the future. They are not used to living in the city. It's killing two birds with one stone. Don't you have to be at least 30 years old to adopt an orphan? Am I wrong? In the hospital ward, the patrolman surnamed Li, who saved the boy together, asks Lin Luoran with confusion after hearing her idea. He looks at Lin Luoran and Baojia. Neither of them looks like 30 years old. The more Lin Luoran thinks, the happier she is. Now she feels like a bucket of cold water is poured over her head. Yes, she hasn't thought about this problem. She and Baojia are really ignorant of the law. Baojia glances at the policeman and thinks for a while. Suddenly, she smiles to Lin Luoran. By the way, my grandpa likes the vegetables you sent these days. He has been wanting to meet you for a long time. There's no time like the present, let's do it today. Chapter 29. It's the first time that Lin Luoran comes to Wang Yao's place empty-handed. In fact, the herbs in her space are the best for the elderly. However, the ginseng is only more than 30 years old. It's a waste to pull it out now. Lin Luoran doesn't know if she can find such spiritual plants in the future. Lin Luoran thinks for a while, and finds a suitable gift. She asks Baojia to drive to Sister Wang's store. Of course, Baojia says that she needs Sister Wang's help. Baojia knows that Wang Yao and Lin Luoran have been contacting each other frequently recently. Lin Luoran doesn't go to Wang Yaoi at all. Instead, she picks a green jade pendant with carved guanyin, which is worth more than 10,000 yuan. More than 10,000 yuan. After deducting the operating cost, even a small piece of pendant can only be said to be made of real jade, not filler, not pressed by jade slag, but not high grade. The color of the pendant she buys is not good. However, the carving is good. If she reprocesses it, it can be used as a gift. Baojia asks her casually, "What did you say to Sister Wang? Why are you so happy?" Lin Luoran smiles. "It's a secret." Without the burden of Li Anping's tuition and living expenses, Lin Luoran has savings in the bank and the mysterious space. She works during the day and cultivates at night. Her life is peaceful and fulfilling. Lin Luoran has become more confident, and her temper has also changed. Look at you. Baojia has more friends and becomes more cheerful. Unlike other girls, Baojia doesn't feel neglected. She only feels happy for Lin Luoran. Baojia focuses on driving while Lin Luoran uses the power of the bead to explore the guanyin pendant. Alas, it's really worth its price. The little reiki in it is pitiful. The bead has become picky now. After detecting the little reiki, it stops acting like a wolf and slowly releases white light to absorb the little reiki in the guanyin pendant. Looking at the bead's slow movements, Lin Luoran sometimes feels that the bead has its own consciousness. It is surprisingly smart. However, Lin Luoran doesn't want it to eat today. She wants the bead to feed it peaceful reiki. The bead understands her thoughts, and it becomes more reluctant. If it really has its own consciousness, it will curse Lin Luoran in secret. Although the guanyin pendant was made of ordinary jade, surprisingly, it could store a lot more aura than it had. The bead feeds back a lot of reiki. In the end, no matter how Lin Luoran urges it, the bead withdraws its white light and pretends to be dead. Although Lin Luoran curses the cunning pearl, she secretly glances at the jade pendant in her pocket when Baojia is concentrating on driving. She is quite satisfied with the result of the second processing. Baojia is focused on driving all the way, and Lin Luoran is focused on her transformation. They don't even notice where Baojia is going. When Baojia says, "Here we are," Lin finds that the car seems to be driving into a quiet family compound in the downtown. Lin Luoran rolls down the window and looks at where they are going. There are guards standing straight at the door with guns in their hands. Lin Luoran can feel the murderous spirit from them. They don't seem to be just for show. With the signed family compound of XX military region, Lin Luoran can easily guess where she is. The military region of our city? Miss Baojia, you didn't tell me about it. Lin Luoran interrogates Baojia immediately. Baojia blushes. I'll tell you later. Baojia is a familiar face. The guard checks her pass routinely and registers Lin Luoran. Then he lets them in. When the car slowly enters the gate, the window is not rolled down. A man in sneakers happens to see Lin Luoran's profile. His eyes suddenly widen, and he quickly presses the shutter of his mobile phone very professionally. With 8 million pixels, Lin Luoran's profile is captured very clearly. The man in sneakers is so excited that he almost bursts into tears. Comrade, what's the car that just went in? The man in sneakers tries to get close to the guard. Seeing that the guard is looking at him with vigilance, he can only smile embarrassedly, touches his nose, and quickly slips away. Turning to an intersection away from the compound, the man in sneakers takes out a well-printed sketch of a person and compares it. After confirming that the two are indeed the same person, he skillfully presses a string of numbers and sends the photo over. There are only 4 words in the title of the MMS. The person has been found. But the man in sneakers is very excited. Thinking of the handsome reward promised by Mr. Mu, the man in sneakers feels that he is going to make a comeback this time. After sending the MMS, he keeps giggling, imagining the scene where he will take an important position in the future. He can't help but drool. Young Master Mu, who used to be elegant, is having a hard time recently. He is thrown to manage a small seed company in our city. He is almost laughed at by his peers and friends in his family. What's more, he lost the ginseng seed that was valued by his elders last time. Mu Tianen can't see the end of his sentence. If that's all, it is not a big deal. Our city is famous for its beautiful girls. Mu Tianen is quite satisfied with such a leisurely life while looking for the lost ginseng seed and falling in love with a beautiful girl. In the beginning, he was anxious, but in the end he accepts his fate. He is so happy that he forgets home. It is not until his grandpa's birthday that his old man calls him in person and scolds him like black sheep and unfilial grandson. He also orders that he is not allowed to go back to his grandpa's birthday party if he doesn't find the ginseng seed. Mu Tianan becomes anxious. It is not that he is in a hurry to go back to show filial piety, but his old man stops all his cards and doesn't allow him to get involved in the accounts of the seed company. Therefore, Mu Tianan is in a tragedy. He will die if he doesn't chase after girls. If he does, he will live off a woman. That is worse than death. Mu Tianan thinks about it and realizes that his old man is always afraid of his grandpa. He has to make his grandpa happy. It is well known that Grandpa Mu loves jade. Mu Tianan gets a piece of jade material from a fat man surnamed Chui. He asks a skilled craftsman to carve it into a decoration of 8 immortals congratulating birthday and sends it back to the capital. Of course, the money to buy the jade material and hire the craftsman is borrowed from the gloating Mu brothers after Mu Tianan signs a debt agreement with a high interest rate. Life and death would be decided in this moment. Master Mu rubs his hands and waits in front of the telephone. He has heard that Grandpa has already received the gift. Why hasn't he responded yet? Ring. The telephone in the office rings. The area code is 010. It is the number of the Mu family's mansion. Mu Tianan almost laughs out loud. God doesn't want me to die. Hello, Grandpa. Mu Tianan is interrupted by Grandpa Mu's loud voice before he can act like a filial grandson. Where did you get the jade? Grandpa Mu asks. Well, his tone is so grumpy. Grandpa doesn't like it. Mu Tianan nervously explains the origin of the jade ornament. Grandpa Mu listens carefully and keeps silent for a while. When Mu Tianan's heart is about to go cold, Grandpa Mu's hearty laughter almost breaks his eardrum. Ha ha ha, well done. Brat, you've finally done something right. You're indeed the son of my Mu family. When was the last time Grandpa Mu praised him? When he was 9 or 10 years old. Mu Tianan feels like he just ate a ginseng fruit. Every pore on his body feels comfortable. He asks flatteringly, Grandpa, the birthday gift I gave to the 8 immortals is really good, right? Haha, only such a jade can match my grandpa. Haha. Grandpa Mu is furious. The 8 Immortals' birthday gift? Don't you know that I hate it when people put Grandmaster He and Lu Dongbin together? Oh no. He forgets that Grandpa always claims to be related to He Xianggu. Since the TV series made up that He Xianggu liked Lu Dongbin, Grandpa Mu doesn't like Lu Dongbin, who is played by the young man in the TV series. He says that Lu Dongbin has tarnished his grandmaster. Mu Tianen is in a cold sweat. He feels strange. In this case, the 8 Immortals' birthday gift is just flattery. Why is Grandpa so happy? Grandpa Mu says loudly, Tianen, do you know what the jade you gave me is? It actually contains pure and auspicious Reiki. I haven't seen such auspicious Reiki for many years, since I started to remember. Your grandpa's condition has stabilized. It's all because of the jade you gave me. Although Mu Tianen doesn't cultivate, he has been influenced by his grandpa since he was a child. He knows that the Reiki his grandpa talks about is the guarantee for strong cultivators like him to live. However, Grandpa always says that Reiki is violent, and he doesn't want Mu Tianen to suffer from cultivation. It is the first time for Mu Tianen to hear Grandpa describe Reiki as auspicious. Thinking that Grandpa Gua may be saved, Mu Tianen feels a little less guilty about losing the ginseng seed. He says, if we continue to search for this kind of jade, Grandpa Gua may be saved. Grandpa Mu is silent on the other side of the phone for a while, and then says seriously, if it is in the hands of ordinary people, you must buy it back according to the price. You can't take it by force. But I suspect that this is the work of a powerful cultivator. You must be careful not to annoy the powerful cultivator. Mu Tianen hangs up the phone. Grandpa says that there may be a powerful cultivator. Thinking of the original owner of the jade, the vulgar and fatty Chui, Mu Tianen is speechless. Is there really a powerful cultivator who likes to wear a gold necklace as thick as a little finger around his neck? Mu Tianen can't help shivering. It's because of the thunder. Just then his cell phone vibrates. He picks it up and sees that it is an MMS from a strange number. When Mu Tianen opens the MMS, he finally jumps up because of the ups and downs today. Chapter 30. Baojia, who knows Lin Luoren very well, smiles. Haha, I didn't mean to hide it from you. You never asked me, so I didn't tell you. Baojia doesn't think that Lin Luoren's inexplicable emotion is the joy of knowing the truth. Needless to say, it must be anger. Lin Luoren is already angry. Seeing Baojia looking at her pitifully and begging for mercy, Lin Luoren feels like punching cotton. Lin Luoren feels helpless. Lin Luoren didn't ask Baojia about it. Besides, she used to be sensitive and self-abased. If Baojia really told her, she might alienate her friend out of shame. Thinking of this, Lin Luoren feels relieved. However, she still pretends to be fierce. I'll remember it. I'll deal with you later. Baojia straightens up her back. She immediately changes from the girl next door, who begs for mercy, to the queen of high heels. She runs to the door and doesn't ring the doorbell. She knocks the mahogany door loudly. Commander, your good granddaughter is back. Open the door. Before the single-family building could react, the residents in the distance had already closed their doors and windows with loud bangs. Lin Luoren doesn't know whether they are afraid of Baojia's magic voice, or the good granddaughter of the commander is a terrible existence. Lin Luoren almost falls down. She has known that Baojia is fierce, but she has never seen her so manly. Lin Luoren smiles again. It seems that Baojia and her grandfather have a good relationship. Baojia is still knocking on the door. Lin Luoren is trying not to laugh. Suddenly, the door is pulled open. Lin Luoren stands up straight. She should be respectful in front of the elders. She is not Baojia. The door is opened. Lin Luoren's handsome face with gold-rimmed eyes shows up. Why is Lu Jing here? Baojia pats him on the shoulder. Master Lu is here too. I should have come on another day. Alas! Lin Luoren notices that Lu Jing is a little embarrassed. However, why is Baojia not surprised that Lu Jing is in her grandfather's house? Are they so familiar with each other? Lin Luoren seems to see that her best friend's life has been settled. She smiles sneakily and calls boss. Then she is dragged into the room by Baojia. Baojia, grandpa is cooking. Dinner will be ready soon. An old man's voice came from the kitchen. He sounded energetic. Lin Luoran is a little surprised. Is Baojia's grandfather going to cook by himself? She looks at Lu Zheng, who is sitting in the hall. The latter smiles at her helplessly, meaning that Baojia's grandpa will not listen to him. Baojia throws her bag on the sofa and shouts with arms akimbo, "Commander, come out! I brought Xiao Ran with me today." "Oh, that girl from the Lin family? I have to take a look." An old man rushed out of the kitchen with a spatula in his hand. Lin Luoran is so shocked that she can't close her mouth. She finally knows who Baojia, who is a queen and a prank, looks like. What should a military commander look like? A face full of unswerving determination, a military uniform, and a straight back. These were all necessary conditions, right? But what about Baojia's grandfather? His face is ruddy and he is strong. He is wearing an apron and holding a spatula. He looks like a grandfather taking care of his grandson at home. The most important thing is that there is a cute monkey biting a handkerchief on the apron, looking proud and pitiful. "Hello, Grandpa Qin." Lin Luoran comes to herself and says hello. Lu Zheng certainly knows how shocking Commander Qin's appearance is. He looks at the crystal chandelier on the ceiling calmly. Baojia blushes slightly, but Commander Qin doesn't care. "Don't call me Grandpa Qin. Call me Grandpa like Baojia." Lin Luoran sees him waving the spatula. She is afraid that she will be hurt by accident, so she calls him Grandpa immediately. Commander Qin nods with satisfaction. "You're a good girl. Well, the dishes are delicious. Of course, I'm the best cook. Ha ha ha. Oh, my fried eggplant." Commander Qin, who is not arrogant at all, is beaming with joy when he talks about his cooking. However, he remembers the eggplant is still on the fire. Suddenly, he whines and rushes back to the kitchen, as if someone stepped on his foot. Lu Zheng has a hard time holding back his laughter. Baojia feels that her face is burning. Lin Luoran pats her on the shoulder sympathetically. Having an old man at home is like having a treasure. Commander Qin has a good temperament. Looking at Baojia's embarrassed face, Lin Luoran understands her mentality very well. No wonder Baojia has never brought her here before. If her grandpa is like this, Lin Luoran will also feel a lot of pressure. At the dinner table, Commander Qin takes off his apron and eats silently. Finally, he looks like a commander. Lu Zheng can tell that Commander Qin has a good upbringing. There is no sound of chewing when he is eating. Although he is eating the fried eggplant made by Commander Qin, people feel that he is eating Western food in a restaurant with light music. Baojia is drinking soup with a big spoon, which complements the image of Commander Qin eating meat. People who don't know them can tell that they are grandfather and grandson. Lin Luoran is not pretending. Anyway, the atmosphere of the meal is good and she enjoys it. After dinner, the few of them sat on the sofa and chatted. The housekeeper brought up the sliced fruits, and the topic finally got down to business. Lin Luoran takes out the guanyin pendant wrapped in red silk, and says to Commander Qin sincerely, "Grandpa Qin, Luoran and Baojia are like one person. You should treat me as your granddaughter, and I should show my filial piety. This is just a small gift from me. It's not expensive. Please don't blame me for being stingy. Just take it." Baojia asks suspiciously, "When did you prepare a gift secretly? Why didn't I know about it?" Lin Luoran has been with her all the way here. No, she even went to Sister Wang's place. That explains it. Lin Luoran holds the gift with a smile. Hearing that it is not expensive, Commander Qin can't refuse it. Opening it, Lin Luoran sees a small jade guanyin pendant. Commander Qin is in a high position and has seen a lot of good things. He has a basic understanding of these things. As soon as he sees the pendant, he asks, "This is not expensive? Do you think I'm old and stupid?" It is the first time for Lin Luoran to look at the pendant carefully. How to put it? It is still the same kind of pendant. However, after being filled with Reiki, the head of the pendant is very good. In the eyes of cultivators like Lin Luoran, the pendant is full of Reiki. In the eyes of ordinary people, they can't see the wonderful Reiki. However, they feel that the head of the pendant, the color, and the carving are all beautiful. The three elements of the jade may not be the best, but they complement each other the best. This is a good thing. Commander Qin touches the pendant for a few times. He loves the unique moist feeling of the jade. He says, "It's too expensive. I can't accept it." Lin Luoran is anxious now. She doesn't expect that the pendant has changed so much. According to her original idea, she just wants the pendant to be filled with peaceful and pure Reiki. Such an accessory is good for people's bodies. However, she doesn't expect that the nature of the pendant has changed, and even the appearance has changed. It seems that she has underestimated the effect of Reiki. Lin Luoran sighs. She suddenly remembers that she hasn't thrown away the receipt. She takes it out immediately to prove her innocence. Grandpa Qin, I'm not lying. It's really not expensive. It's just a small gift. God knows that people in the world always hope that their gifts are expensive. Lin Luoran is the only one who has to prove that the pendant is cheap. Both Baojia and Lu Zheng are experts in this field. Commander Qin doesn't look for his granddaughter. Instead, he waves to Lu Zheng. Little Lu, come and have a look. Puff puff. Commander Qin calls Lu Zheng Little Lu. Lin Luoran can clearly feel that her boss's face has changed. He is not calm anymore. Commander Qin, this pendant is indeed worth more than 10,000 yuan. It is from a shop of my acquaintance. I can recognize the style of her shop at a glance. However, this is definitely a good thing at this price. After a closer look, it must be different from the ones from the same batch. Miss Lin, you have a good eye. You can even pick this out. Lu Zheng takes a few glances at the pendant and gives his appraisal. Lin Luoran is indeed a master. Although it is not completely correct, it is not far from the truth. Lin Luoran is afraid that Commander Qin's words are far from what she said, so she stares at him without blinking. She finds that her boss has a very cute little action. Whenever he is embarrassed or in a bad mood, he will push his gold-rimmed glasses up the bridge of his nose. Commander Qin believes Lu Zheng's words very much, so he happily accepts the gift. Lu Zheng notices that Lin Luoran is staring at him without blinking. He starts to push his glasses up again, and coughs to remind her. Lin Luoran feels that she is doing something inappropriate. She turns her old face away and blushes for the first time. Baojia sees everything calmly. Her narrow eyes reveal a mischievous smile of success. The smile flashes so fast that no one else in the room sees it. They talk about how Lin Luoran wants to adopt the boy she and Baojia saved, but she is not old enough. Commander Qin glares at her and scolds. You asked the old man for help. No wonder you want to come back to see me today. You are so unfilial. Lin Luoran's eyes widen. Seeing that Baojia is the target, Lin Luoran is in a cold sweat. Baojia doesn't pay attention to her grandfather's pretense. She stares at him and asks, Commander, you have to understand that we are doing a good deed. How can you say that? Do you still want to work hard? Have you lost the principle of serving the people? Baojia's rhetorical questions not only subdue her grandfather, but also make Lu Zheng look at the sky calmly. Lin Luoran also feels that it is very hard not to laugh, so she decisively joins the team of looking at the sky. Commander Qin is choked by Baojia's stinky smell. His two tufts of mustache tremble. He points at Baojia and doesn't know what to say. Lu Zheng finishes looking at the sky and coughs. Actually, as soon as he finishes his words, he notices that 3 pairs of eyes are looking at him. Lin Luoran's eyes are very bright, which makes him a little nervous. Actually, we can adopt the boy under the name of Miss Lin's parents. Under the name of Miss Lin's parents? That's right. This way, she doesn't have to ask for help, and she doesn't have to worry about the age of adoption. Mr. and Mrs. Lin are kind people. They have a son in their old age, so they should be very nice to the boy, right? By then, the whole family will live together anyway. What's the difference between adopting the boy and her? Chapter 31. However, Baojia says that she hasn't been with her grandpa for a long time. She wants to stay in the yard tonight, and asks Lu Zheng to send Lin home. Commander Qin is obviously happy to hear Baojia's words. Lin Luoran doesn't want to disappoint the old man, so she agrees. After saying goodbye to Commander Qin, Baojia stands at the gate and waves happily. Master Lu, I'm leaving Luoran to you. What does she mean by leaving to Lu Zheng? Lin Luoran is going to get even with her, but the mahogany door is closed with a bang sound, right on the tip of her nose. Lin Luoran is smart enough to hear Baojia snicker behind the door. Lin Luoran is walking to Lu Zheng's house naturally. However, after Baojia's disturbance, Lin Luoran suddenly feels a strange atmosphere between her and Lu Zheng. You've been working for Lu's for a long time. How's your job? Lu Zheng has the insight of a businessman. He takes the initiative to resolve the awkwardness. Lin Luoran feels relaxed after finding a topic. The environment at the counter is good, and the work is good. Thank you, Mr. Lu, for providing me with this job. Lin Luoran's gratitude is sincere. At least Lu Zheng didn't fire her when Ellie leaked the news, which is a great encouragement to her. Mr. Lu is too distant. If you don't mind, you can call me Lu Zheng, or Master Lu like Baojia does. What do you think, Miss Lin? Lin Luoran blinks. Then why do you still call me Miss Lin? Lu Zheng can't help but laugh. The two of them chat along the way and the atmosphere is much more relaxed. Before they know it, they walk out of the gate of the military yard. Lu Zheng is gentle and elegant while Lin Luoran is tall and slender. Walking side by side, they are really a pair that people can't move their eyes away from. Of course, Master Mu, who has been waiting for Lin Luoran for several hours against a flashy sports car, doesn't think so. There are cigarette butts on the ground. He has smoked at least a pack of cigarettes. Besides, he has been stared at by the guards on the way. Even Lu Zheng can't stay calm. Let alone Mu Tianan, who is used to laughing and scolding. Mu Tianan can't forgive Lin Luoran, who is still in the mood to flirt with a man when she sees her target. With a flick of his fingers, the cigarette holder draws an arc in the air, and Mu Tianan rushes out like an arrow leaving the bow. In the beginning, Lin Luoran and Lu Zheng are chatting casually. Now that the atmosphere is relaxed, they don't notice the flashy sports car at the gate, let alone Mr. Mu, who is standing beside the car like a decadent man. As soon as Lin Luoran opens the car door, her arm is suddenly grabbed by someone. She is shocked and tries to shake it off. She is stronger than the person, but the person's wrist is as flexible as a snake. In the end, the person can entangle her. What? Mu Tianan is surprised by the woman's strength and can't help but exclaim. Lin Luoran looks back. A strange man grabs her arm, and she can't get rid of him. He is obviously a master. Lin Luoran is even more surprised. Lu Zheng gently closes the car door. He is not sure if the man who suddenly rushes out is Lin Luoran's old acquaintance, so he doesn't want to interfere. Mu Tiannan's eyes bulge and his handsome face is twisted. You thief! Give me back my ginseng seed. Lin Luoran is about to burst into anger. However, when she hears that the ginseng seed is a coincidence, she feels guilty. The sobriety in her mind turns into a bird and flies away. Lin Luoran speaks slowly. What ginseng seed? Lin Luoran is really not good at lying. Now, not to mention Mu Tianan sneers. Even Lu Zheng can see that she is lying. He guesses that they know each other, so he doesn't want to interfere. Lin Luoran blushes guiltily. She glances at the man who grabs her. She is not short among women. If she wears high heels on the street of our city, the local men of our city will lose their prestige. Lin Luoran's face turns red. However, the man in front of her is half a head taller than her. He seems to be more than 1.8 meters tall. It is rare to see such a tall man in our city. Lin Luoran wants to pinch herself. How can she have the mood to look at the enemy while the man is staring at her? Can you not be crazy about me now? Give me back the ginseng seed, or I won't let you off. Seeing that the female thief is still in the mood to look at him, Mu Tianan immediately puts her in the crazy about him group. It is undeniable that the woman in front of him has a gentle and elegant temperament. She is tall with black hair, jade-like skin and dark eyes. It can be said that Mu Tiannan's eyes are the most beautiful among all the flowers. It is a pity that he is also an infatuated woman. Mu Tianan feels a little pity for her, but he doesn't know why. Crazy about him? Lin Luoran is a little surprised. How come she is crazy about him? She gets the ginseng seed with Reiki by coincidence. She didn't steal it or rob it. Even if the man in front of her is the owner of the ginseng seed, can't he make it clear? He rushes up to her inexplicably and has an expensive sports car behind him. Is he a playboy who is used to being arrogant? Lin Luoran is a bit unhappy when she thinks that her boss, Lu Zheng, is watching her arguing with a man on the street. Lin Luoran is not a very gentle person. When she is forced by external forces, she tends to go overboard. I don't know what kind of ginseng seed you are talking about. Sir, you have mistaken me for someone else. The consequence of Lin Luoran's extreme behavior is that she starts to lie. On the one hand, she hates this man's arrogance. On the other hand, the ginseng seed has become a decades-old ginseng in her space. Even if she pulls it out and gives it back to him, she can't turn it into a ginseng seed. She can't admit it. Lin Luoran makes up her mind immediately. Mu Tianen squints his eyes. People who are familiar with him all know that this is a sign of threat. This woman is so reckless. Mu Tianen can't help but tighten his grip on Lin Luoran's right hand. Ah! Lin Luoran can't help but frown and let out a light cry. Why is this man's hand like an iron clamp? Lu Zheng has been listening to their conversation carefully. It seems that they have nothing to do with the ginseng seed. Somehow Lu Zheng feels relieved. Hearing Lin Luoran's cry, he steps forward and grabs Mu Tiannan's hand. She said she doesn't know you. Sir, can you let go of me? Lu Zheng wore a businessman's smile that never changed. Coupled with the gold-rimmed glasses, he was so gentle and elegant that it made people feel like they were punching cotton. Who are you? Mu Tianen frowns at first and stares at Lu Zheng's gentle face. Lu Zheng also stares back. There seems to be an electric current flashing between them. Looking at the calm face of the glasses man, Mu Tianen feels that his face is asking for a beating. An idea comes to him, and he suddenly says with a provocative smile, I don't care who you are. The thing between me and her has nothing to do with outsiders. Hey! I deliberately make it ambiguous to piss you off, you glasses man. Mu Tianen almost forgets why he is here. Anyway, he feels happy that he can piss off the glasses man. Taking advantage of Lu Zheng's help, Lin Luoran suddenly breaks free from Mu Tiannan's hand. Looking at the red mark on her wrist, Lin Luoran is furious. She is just thinking about whether she should throw this man over her shoulder or not. Then she hears Lu Zheng's faint voice above her head. If you harass my girlfriend again, I won't be polite. Lin Luoran suddenly looks up. She even forgets to throw Mu Tianen over her shoulder. She stands still and is petrified. His girlfriend. Chapter 32. She only remembers that Lu Zheng sends her downstairs and says, It's a stopgap measure. Lin Luoran interrupts him loudly. I know. Her face is as red as a monkey's but, as if someone has set a fire on her back. Lin Luoran hurriedly gets off the car and runs away. Lu Zheng's eyes are full of smiles. Looking at Lin Luoran's burning back, he doesn't find it funny at all. Instead, he thinks that Lin Luoran is not as elegant as usual. Lin Luoran rushes upstairs as if being chased by a ghost. After drinking 2 glasses of water, the blush on her face fades a little. After calming down, she finds herself ridiculous. She is not a young girl, who just has her first awakening of love. She is too shy today. Lin Luoran wanders into the space, and randomly picks some small tomatoes to eat. Looking at the growing ginseng, Lin Luoran feels a little embarrassed. Today, with Lu Zheng's help, Lin Luoran refuses to admit it. When the tall man is distracted, she gets away with it. However, the ginseng is growing in her space now. She can fool everyone, but she can't fool her conscience. She has to give him something in return. After washing up, Lin Luoran sits on the blanket she bought specially for meditation as shown on TV. She remembers that when Lu Zheng dragged her into the car, the man said his surname was Mu and his first name was Nan. He shouted that he wouldn't let it go. Lin Luoran laughs. Since he said he wouldn't let it go, she will have a chance to compensate him with the ginseng seeds. She'd better wait for him to come to her. Lin Luoran gets rid of this worry and cheers herself up. She gradually slows down her breathing. After adjusting her state, she starts to fight with the Reiki in her body again. Although cultivation is about following one's heart, there is also the saying of karma. Lin Luoran still doesn't know that she doesn't leave a gap in her Taoist heart at the beginning, which is a hidden danger for her future cultivation. The bead shines dimly in the moonlight. Lin Luoran is calm both physically and mentally. The Reiki in her body flows slowly like mercury, but it can't pass through the narrow meridians. Lin Luoran has always been like a cattail. She can't be trampled to death in adversity. She is not discouraged, even if she can't break through the bottleneck once or twice. She just tries hard to direct Reiki to move along her meridians, to break through the bottleneck again and again. After a night of cultivation, it is already dawn. She hasn't broken through the bottleneck yet, but her Reiki has become more solid. It is strange that after a night of cultivation, she is not tired at all. Instead, she feels refreshed, which makes her feel that cultivation is a wonderful thing. Since it's almost dawn, Lin has no time to sleep. She washes her face and goes downstairs to do some morning exercises. Lin Luoren lives not far from the park. She trots all the way to the park and takes it as a way to keep fit. The pressure of survival in the city leads to a fast-paced life. Many people socialize at night and work during the day. They are so busy that they are like a spinning top. The park is full of retired old men and women. There is no young person like Lin Luoren. Lin Luoren doesn't want to compete with the old ladies for the limited fitness facilities, so she can only exercise in the park. She was beautiful, and standing in a crowd full of old men and women, she stood out like a sore thumb. Lin Luoren has no idea at all because she is fascinated by an old man in a white coat, who is practicing Tai Chi in the middle of the park. With the development of modern information, Tai Chi is highly regarded as a way to keep fit. Lin Luoren has seen many masters of Tai Chi Lin Luoren didn't cultivate at that time. She always thought that those masters were just for show, so she didn't care much about the quintessence of the country. The old man in front of her has almost white eyebrows. He looks old, but his face is ruddy. His movements are somewhat spontaneous. They are not the standard Tai Chi movements. Lin Luoren feels that there is a kind of charm in them. What surprises Lin Luoren more is that when the old man is practicing Tai Chi, an invisible airflow is generated from his hands, which makes the gray fog, which seems to be everywhere in the world, take a detour and avoid the old man. Lin Luoren can tell from the plants that the gray fog is definitely not something good. It may be something like the turbid air between heaven and earth. Thanks to the mysterious bead, Lin Luoren can maintain her pure body after the purification. Now she sees someone can make the gray fog retreat by himself. How can she not be surprised? The old man in a white coat finishes the Tai Chi leisurely. Seeing a girl standing beside him without blinking, he nods and smiles. Little girl, do you want to learn? Compared with the old man, Lin Luoren is young, so she is not angry at being called little girl. Hearing the old man's question, she hesitates for a while and says embarrassedly, "Can you teach me?" Lin Luoren sees that the old man in a white coat has some real kung fu. She is afraid that the old man has a rule of only teaching men, not women, and not outsiders. Hearing Lin Luoren's concern, the old man laughs. "I have been practicing at home since I retired. It is not a secret book. Do you still want to learn?" Practicing at home. Lin Luoren is surprised. Are there really self-taught geniuses in this world? Lin Luoren looks at the other old men, who are practicing Tai Chi, but don't have the same effect. Lin Luoren thinks for a while and frowns. The old man in a white coat sees Lin Luoren frowning and thinking. He laughs. "What a sharp-eyed girl. You can see that I am different from them. What a coincidence. I have to teach you today." Lin Luoren would be a fool to say no to such a good thing. Everyone has a secret. Lin Luoren has a mysterious space. Why can't the old man know how to keep in good health? Lin Luoren thinks it through, and calls the old man master happily. She also says that she will formally give the old man a gift some other day. Hearing this, the old man is serious. Nowadays, there are not many young people who know how to be polite. It seems that I have to learn something from you. After saying this, he looks at Lin Luoren with a smile. He is very satisfied with her behavior. Lin Luoren chuckles. The old man said that he practiced Tai Chi randomly. Now the old man reveals his own secret. The old man realizes that he has made a slip of the tongue. He just smiles and begins to seriously tell Lin Luoren about the difference between his Tai Chi and others. One reason is that Lin Luoren has a good foundation, so he loves her talent and talks very carefully. The other reason is that the old man really has real skills. Lin Luoren is at the bottleneck of her cultivation, so she listens very carefully. More than an hour has passed. Lin Luoren estimates that Baojia will come to pick her up for work soon. She has made an appointment with the old man to come tomorrow. Chapter 33. Baojia looks at her and smirks. I heard that there was a good show at the gate of the compound last night. Someone blocked the road, and someone saved the damsel in distress. The military compound is Baojia's place. It is not strange that she knows what happened last night. However, the more she explains, the more it is unclear. Lin Luoran raises the lunchbox in her hand. If you keep talking nonsense, there will be no breakfast of love. Baojia puts on a flattering smile. Okay. Sister Lin, please give me a bite of rice. She grabs Lin's lunchbox and happily eats the home-cooked noodles. They laugh and joke with each other. They arrive at the company just in time. Coincidentally, they meet Lu Zheng in the parking lot. The latter just nods and smiles at her. Then he goes to the special elevator with his assistant. Mr. Lu is so insensitive. Baojia takes off the sunglasses from under the bridge of her nose. She doesn't take it seriously. Lin Luoran knows Baojia's character. She pretends not to hear it and asks with a smile. I haven't interrogated you yet. What's your relationship with the big boss? You can even see him in your grandpa's house. Baojia coughs and immediately becomes like a gourd with its mouth cut off. She tries to change the topic. The weather is so good today. Lin Luoran is speechless to say that the weather is good in the underground parking lot. She rolls her eyes at her and goes to work. Thanks to Lu Zheng, Lin Luoran has to consider buying a house as soon as possible because of the idea of adopting the young boy under her parents' name. The community where Baojia lives now is a new one. However, Lin Luoran doesn't like the apartment with elevators. Her parents have changed their environment. If there is a garden where they can take care of the flowers and plants, it can be regarded as emotional sustenance. A small building with a garden. Lin Luoran suddenly feels that she doesn't have enough money. Should he cut the raw stone that was still in Baojia's place? Or should he do this kind of almost free business again? Lin Luoran can't make a choice. She has to cheer up and go to work first. Today, the business of Lin Luoran's store is very good. Many salespeople are very busy. Seeing that Lu Mei is dealing with 2 customers alone, Lin Luoran chooses the one who doesn't seem to be so well off. Because of her gentle tone and her familiarity with all kinds of gems and jade, Lin Luoran sells a diamond ring smoothly. Although it is only a 60-point diamond ring, it is the first one Lin Luoran has ever made in this industry, which makes her very happy. Lu Mei finishes what she is doing. Seeing her giggle, she winks at her. If you had asked earlier, the rings that are much bigger than this would have been sold long ago. Lin Luoran glares at her. Lu Mei is talking about some middle-aged bosses who keep pestering her after seeing her at the counter these days. Being the mistress of a man with a big belly is something that Lin Luoran would never do in the past, let alone now that she has embarked on the path of cultivation. Other female staff are jealous. They secretly laugh at Lin Luoran for pretending to be noble. Seeing that Lin Luoran is wearing good clothes and often comes to work in a BMW, which is a treatment that can't be obtained by working, they spread rumors about Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran has very good hearing. She accidentally hears these rumors in the toilet, but she just smiles. It's not true. What's the point of arguing with these vulgar women? Lu Mei had also heard these unbearable rumors. Although Lu Mei doesn't know Lin Luoran well, she can see that Lin Luoran is very serious about learning jewelry. If Lin Luoran really has a sugar daddy, why would she work so hard? Therefore, Lu Mei deliberately asks Lin Luoran in front of these salespeople, hoping that Lin Luoran can explain for herself. Seeing that other salespeople are listening to them, Lin Luoran immediately understands Lu Mei's intention. She smiles at Lu Mei gratefully, but doesn't explain anything. Lu Mei now knows that Lin Luoran is indifferent and doesn't care about these rumors. Lu Mei gives up the idea of proving Lin Luoran's innocence. With more customers, Lin Luoran's working hours are very full. The day passes quickly. When Lin Luoran gets off work and walks out of the gate with Lu Mei and others, she accidentally sees a familiar red sports car parked at the gate. The car window is rolled down, and Mr. Mu's face is distorted with a smile. Miss Lin, do me the honor to have dinner with us. It's rare to see a handsome man and a beautiful woman in a jewelry store. Many people still remember the man who bought a star-shaped hairpin to dress up as a prince. At this moment, he doesn't show up with his female companion. Instead, he comes to invite Lin Luoran, the vixen in their eyes, to dinner. Everyone suddenly realizes that Lin Luoran has a relationship with a young and handsome rich man. No wonder she doesn't like those fat bosses. Lu Mei smiles ambiguously, but her eyes are kind. She pushes Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran doesn't feel happy at all when she sees this scene that makes young girls envious. Instead, she frowns slightly. Although she knows that Mu will come to her sooner or later, she doesn't expect that he even knows where she works so soon. Looking at his proud face, Lin Luoran has no doubt that if he can't get the ginseng seed from her, he will come to her every day and waste time like this. Lin Luoran is not a rich man who has so much time on his hands. She has to work, cultivate, adopt a young boy, and raise her parents. She doesn't have time to waste with him. How precious is the ginseng seed? This idea comes to Lin Luoran's mind. Should she negotiate with Mu Tiannan and give him back the ginseng? Mu Tiannan gets the jade, so he is not so anxious about the ginseng seed anymore. He doesn't know why he keeps holding on to Lin Luoran. Maybe it's because the way this girl lies through her teeth is so hateful. Well, it must be so. Mu Tiannan convinces himself in his heart. He is quite proud that Lin Luoran's silence is golden. He naturally thinks that she has a guilty conscience. Thinking of this, Mu Tiannan is even happier. Lin Luoran doesn't think it is a big deal to block the door like this. However, the revolving door opens again. Baojia and Lu Zheng walk out, talking and laughing. Seeing the people at the door, they don't know what is going on. Lu Zheng sees the man from last night, and his eyes are obscure. Baojia suddenly realizes it and smiles mischievously. Is it him? Mu Tiannan is facing the door, but he sees the two first. He greets them loudly as if they are old friends. Mr. Lu, we meet again. Yo, your female companion is so beautiful. You must be my engaged fiancée, Miss Qin. Look, you really are a match made in heaven. Mu Tiannan has spent a lot of effort to find out the truth. After knowing the relationship between Lin Luoran and Baojia, he also found out that Baojia is Lu Zheng's fiancée. Thinking that Lu Zheng said that Lin Luoran is his girlfriend, Mu Tiannan becomes complacent. Glasses, how dare you dream of a Huang and Nuying? Hearing that the new designer is the fiancée of the general manager, Lin Luoran is not the one who Mu Tiannan wants to hurt, but the onlookers. God knows how long they have been dreaming about the super rich young man. It turns out that he has a fiancée. Humph, this woman is not so pretty. Some people think against their will, secretly feeling that Lu Zheng's fiancé is like this. In fact, Lin Luoran suddenly realizes that he is Baojia's fiancé. No wonder she saw Lu Zheng at Commander Qin's house that day. Thinking of what Lu Zheng said to help her last night, Lin Luoran looks at Baojia again. Somehow she feels a little guilty. She can't be. Huh? Miss Lin, it is wrong to steal your friend's man. Please consider me. Although the Mu family is not as rich as Lu's, I don't have a fiancé. The onlookers can't even blink their eyes. First, the young boss is exposed to have a fiancé. Now Lin Luoran, the vixen, wants to steal his man. Moreover, she and designer Qin are friends? Heavens, this relationship is really messy. Chapter 34. Tut tut, you are not gentle at all, Miss Qin. No wonder your fiancé is about to be taken away. Mu Tiannan shakes his head as if he is saying that for Lin Luoran's own good, which is really annoying. Lin Luoran's eyes are full of anger. This man is so hateful. He is obviously trying to provoke her and her sister to fight against each other. He is so evil. There is nothing between Lin Luoran and Lu Zheng. Even if Lin Luoran does fall in love with him, how can she have any other thoughts after knowing that he is Baojia's fiancé? Seeing that Mu Tiannan's words are getting more and more unbearable, Lu Zheng's expression doesn't change. His eyes are also well covered by the glasses. Only his slightly frowning eyebrows reveal his emotions. What are you doing here? Get out of here. It's not working time. Lu Zheng has always been prestigious in the company. His words make all the gossips leave reluctantly. Only Lu Mei casts a worried look at Lin Luoran before she leaves. It's her fault, but her friends are blamed. Lin Luoran forgets the thought of getting ginseng seeds as a reward. She doesn't like the way Mu Tiannan does things. She doesn't like the way Mu Tiannan handles things. What? Do you want the ginseng seeds back? Lin Luoran stands on the stairs and looks down at him. Mu Tiannan says disdainfully, I don't want them back. I want the stolen goods back. You are the thief who took the ginseng seeds from my shop. Lin Luoran sneers. I don't know why a playboy like you wants a few seeds. Even if it's your company, I asked the salesperson for the samples. No matter what you say, I'm in the right. Seeing that Mu Tiannan is still angry, Lin Luoran suddenly laughs. I have thrown away the seeds. You will never find them again. What should I do? Because of Mu Tiannan's disturbance in the company, Lin Luoran thinks that she will probably lose her job, which is beneficial to her personal ability. Her original guilt turns into gloating. She can't help but sneer at Mu Tiannan. Bao Jia and Lu Zheng have no idea what is going on between Lin and this man. In fact, even Lin doesn't know why this man, a mortal, wants to take some ginseng seeds full of reiki. Lin is confused about why he keeps pestering her. Mu Tiannan sees her smiling complacently and hears that the seed is gone. Whether the news is true or not, his anger is like the seventh typhoon coming ashore from Taiwan, raging unstoppably. Mu Tiannan stares at Lin Luoran. He snorts and goes back to the car. Without saying a word, he just drives away. This is out of Lin Luoran's expectation. Lu Zheng pushes his glasses up and says casually, my engagement with Bao Jia is not known to others. Except for my family, only Bao Jia's grandfather knows about it. Bao Jia also looks at Lin worriedly, not knowing how to explain. Lin Luoran suddenly realizes that Lu Zheng is reminding her that few people know about his engagement with Bao Jia, and those who know about it are powerful. That is to say, Mu Tiannan, who can find out the relationship so quickly, must be more powerful. It seems that she has accidentally provoked another powerful enemy. Thinking of the ban order issued by Ellie, Lin Luoran feels that she has a tendency of bad luck recently. However, it is useless to regret now. Lin Luoran says to Bao Jia and Lu Zheng with a bitter smile. The ginseng seeds I got are indeed related to Mu Tiannan, but I can't give them back to him now. This conflict is inevitable. Bao Jia pats Lin on the shoulder. I know you well. You are not a greedy person. Don't worry, we are here. Bao Jia knows that she may have to fight against a powerful force, but she still stands by her side. It is a lie to say that she is not touched. Lin Luoran's eyes are a little wet. She is about to lighten up the atmosphere with a joke. However, Bao Jia hesitates and says hesitantly, well, Lu Zheng and I are engaged, but we are not in that kind of relationship. Please don't misunderstand. Lin Luoran is speechless. What does Bao Jia mean by please don't misunderstand? This explanation makes people think that Bao Jia is really going to take Lin Luoran away. As expected, Lu Zheng starts to push up his glasses again. I have something to do. I have to go. After saying that, he leaves Lin Luoran and Bao Jia ungracefully for the first time. Lin Luoran and Bao Jia look at each other and burst into laughter, which lightens the gloomy atmosphere. Lu Zheng turns his back to Lin Luoran and Bao Jia. There is a trace of smile in his eyes under the glasses. Lin Luoran doesn't know why he is happy. Lin Luoran doesn't quit her job at Treasure House. Although the saleswomen often whisper to each other, which makes her feel stressed, Lin Luoran can't find a better place to cultivate herself than a jade shop on the earth, unless she can hide in the deep mountains and swamps. It is strange that Lin Luoran has been worried that Mu Tiannan will do something cruel after he snorts and disappears. However, Mu Tiannan hasn't done anything these days, which makes Lin Luoran let down her guard. Lin Luoran is not careless, but she has too many things to deal with recently. Because of Lin Luoran's outstanding performance, Manager Zhou has promoted her to a permanent position in advance, which means that Lin Luoran is now qualified to sell jewelry and jades independently. She will get a commission for every piece she sells. Of course, there are rumors that Lin Luoran gets such a treatment because she shamelessly seduces the little boss. As a result, Lin Luoran has to spend more energy during the day. Besides, she has to go to the park to learn Tai Chi in the morning, accompany the little boy after work, cultivate herself in the evening, and take time to see the new buildings in our city. Lin Luoran's schedule can't be more tight. In this case, Lin Luoran doesn't even have much time to take care of her space, let alone foppish Mu's revenge. After opening up the existing land and planting some practical herbs and vegetables, Lin Luoran doesn't have much time to take care of it. Now there is only the outermost circle of the space, and a piece of original grassland. Lin Luoran has put a mat made of grass to pile the harvested vegetables. Because of the harvest, Lin Luoran sends a lot to Baojia and Sister Wang. The spring is still as clear as before. The small tree grows with the water. Lin Luoran can't tell whether it is a medicine shop or a vegetable garden. On the land, various herbs and vegetables grow quietly without interfering with each other. Lin Luoran takes a wooden box covered with red silk. She doesn't know which ginseng to pick. It has been almost 2 months since the little ginseng settled in the space. According to the time ratio, they are all over 50 years old. In Lin Luoran's mind, only century-old ginseng can be counted as old ginseng. However, when she inquired about it in the drugstore a few days ago, she found that century-old wild ginseng is extremely expensive, and it is not easy to buy a real one. It seems that even 50-year-old ginseng can be given away. The surname of Lin Luoran's Tai Chi teacher is Mr. Jia. Lin Luoran plans to give him a 50-year-old ginseng as a gift. It is not very expensive, but it is not cheap either. Lin Luoran knows that ginseng should have all the roots and hairs. Lin Luoran carefully pulls out a small ginseng. She is satisfied that the roots are not broken. She is afraid that she will lose the efficacy of the ginseng if she carelessly processes it. So she simply puts it in the brocade box. Chapter 35. Because I don't want to buy an apartment with elevators. Now the land is in short supply, and the commercial houses with several floors have to be moved to the suburbs. It's so hard to buy one. Speaking of the house, it is a big problem that even the mysterious bead can't help Lin Luoran. Wang Miaoyi smiles. I know a house for sale. It meets your requirements, but it's a bit expensive. I'll take you there someday. Lin Luoran takes Wang Miaoyi's hand and says, You've really solved my big problem. I've been so worried about it recently. It doesn't matter if it's expensive. I still have a piece of jade that I haven't sold yet. I can at least make a down payment, right? Wang Miaoyi knows that Lin Luoran has a piece of jade. She knows that Lin Luoran got 6 million yuan last time. Wang Miaoyi thinks that the jade in Lin Luoran's hand can't be bad. Wang Miaoyi waves her hand and says in a low voice, The food you sent to me is better than the one my Chui bought. It not only tastes better, but also makes my stomach feel refreshed. The pimples on my face are gone. It's much better than those famous skincare products. Thank you so much, Luoran. The food must be expensive, right? Is it the latest technology? Lin Luoran thinks that she can't tell Wang that they are planted in the space. Lin Luoran can only go along with Wang's words. She doesn't agree or deny, leaving a sense of mystery. Actually, Wang Miaoyi and Wang Miaoyi haven't known each other for a long time. They have known each other for no more than 2 months. Wang Miaoyi is like a big sister. She has helped Lin Luoran several times without asking for anything in return. Lin Luoran knows that Wang Miaoyi is troubled by her appearance. Lin Luoran always wants to repay Wang Miaoyi in this respect. Lin Luoran has done a lot of research recently and has a plan in mind. Lin Luoran doesn't want to give Wang Miaoyi too much hope, so she just mentions it vaguely. Sister Wang, I have a gift for you in a few days. You must do me the favor. It's a surprise. Wang Miaoyi is curious, but she knows that Lin Luoran won't tell her in advance if she says it's a surprise. Wang Miaoyi can only suppress her doubts and make an appointment with Lin Luoran to see the house the day after tomorrow. The next morning, Lin Luoran takes the wild ginseng to Master Jia. After they finish practicing Tai Chi, Lin Luoran takes out the box and hands it to Master Jia respectfully. Master Jia is a little surprised. He doesn't expect that Lin Luoran still remembers the gift she mentioned. Seeing that the box is exquisite, he assumes that his apprentice must have chosen it carefully. He doesn't look at the contents of the box and accepts it calmly. In fact, he is a little happy. A 60-year-old wild ginseng weighs about 50 grams. The market price is at least hundreds of thousands of yuan. It is produced in Lin Luoran's space. Even dishes can have the effect of medicine, not to mention ginseng grown from wild ginseng, which is full of reiki. Lin Luoran doesn't want to accept such a luxurious gift. mainly because what Master Jia teaches her is not the simple Tai Chi that she thought it was. Putting aside those mysterious words, Lin Luoran is surprised to find that the method Master Jia taught her is only a method of breathing, but it is still useful for her. That is to say, it is probably a method of cultivation. Lin Luoran can't tell the reason. She can see through Reiki, so she can see that Master Jia is not like a cultivator except that his qi and blood are more vigorous than ordinary people. However, he has a simple breathing method for cultivation. Does this mean that Master Jia's teacher or ancestor is related to cultivators? Maybe he is a descendant of a cultivator? This breathing method solves Lin Luoran's urgent problem. In Lin Luoran's eyes, it is a loss for Master Jia to repay him with ginseng. Therefore, she doesn't feel bad about the top-grade ginseng she grows. Today is Lin Luoran's day off. She hasn't driven the car since she bought it, and it is a waste to leave it there. Therefore, she drives herself and asks Baojia to see the house together. Sister Wang has said that she will wait for them at Wuling Square. Lin Luoran recognizes Sister Wang's Hummer at first sight, because it is very eye-catching. That's right. Wang Miao is the head of the Wang family, so she is as tough as a man. She always says that only a Hummer is worthy of her. Baojia admires Wang Miao very much. Recently, Wang Miao is the only person Baojia admires. Commander Qin is glad that he got engaged to Wang Miao early. Otherwise, he will be worried about his granddaughter, who is full of masculinity. Sister Wang, where are we going? Seeing her idol, Baojia put on a fawning expression. She almost went to help her. Wang Miao waves her hand. Just follow me. Do you think I will sell you? Lin Luoran has no choice but to retreat when she sees the two fierce women. There are more and more private cars in our city in recent years. Sometimes it is better to ride a bicycle when there is a traffic jam. Lin Luoran parks the car in the parking lot of the square and gets on Sister Wang's Hummer with Baojia. Sister Wang, why do I feel that you have become whiter recently? Qin, the flatterer, sits in the passenger seat. He keeps looking at Wang Miao, who is driving. Wang Miao smiles so much that the wrinkles around her eyes show. Really? Brother Cui also said the same thing. I thought he was lying to me. It seems that Sister Lin's food is really good. Baojia nods with deep feelings. The three of them talk and laugh. Soon they arrive at their destination. Looking at the familiar buildings around, it is obvious that this place is not beyond the second ring road. Even if there is a building here, it must be an apartment with elevators, right? Lin Luoran is confused, but Wang Miao smiles happily. Walking closer, they find that this is a newly built tourist street in our city. The street is in the style of the Ming and Qing dynasties. Baojia trusts her idol's choice. She nudges Lin Luoran, who is in a daze, and they hurry to catch up with Wang Miao. There are 2 alleys away from the tourist street. Sister Wang stops in front of a vermilion gate and asks Lin Luoran proudly, "What do you think of this house?" The walls of this alley are made of old blue bricks, and the gate is painted red. Lin Luoran is fascinated by it. She doesn't know that there is such a house near the center of our city. Is it private? Lin Luoran knows that it is a little embarrassing, but she still can't help asking. She is not to blame. She is used to being an ordinary citizen, so she doesn't know that this kind of old house can be bought and sold. She always thinks it is a cultural relic. Wang Miao bursts into laughter. Silly girl. It has been renovated. If it is a house from hundreds of years ago, even if the owner is willing to sell it to you, even the tiles are antiques. How can you feel at ease living here? Lin Luoran blushes. Baojia laughs happily at her embarrassment. Because Wang Miao has said that she will take someone to see the house today, the red gate is not closed tightly. Wang Miao pushes the gate open and leads Lin Luoran in. Maybe for the convenience of cars, the gate is knocked. On the left side of the gate is a long garage that has been rebuilt from a big house. It seems to be able to park 2 cars. A big camphor tree grows in the corner opposite the garage. It is more than twice the height of the wall. It seems to be old. It is winter, but it is still full of leaves, casting a thick shadow in the yard. Wang has planted a few clusters of roses along the wall and built a rockery and a fish pond. Under the warm winter sun, fat koi are swimming around. Lin Luoran can't walk anymore after stepping in. The courtyard alone was at least 100 or 200 square meters, and the ground was paved with 3 feet square of green bricks. There was a large parasol tree near the house, and a stone table and chairs were placed not far from the tree, probably for cooling off in the summer. The house is made of wood. There are 3 rooms in the middle, which are 2-story buildings similar to the Hui house. On the side there are 3 one-story high-roofed rooms. The outermost room is the one that has been converted into the garage. The other 2 rooms are the kitchen and a big dining room next to the garage. There are 3 rooms in the middle. Downstairs, there is a reception hall, a study, and upstairs are bedrooms. The rooms are decorated with modern furniture and electrical appliances that don't conflict with the style of the house. It is comfortable to look at and to live in. Not to mention Lin Luoran. Even Baojia complains every few steps. It's too extravagant, too corrupt. How can we live like this? Lin Luoran feels like she has traveled back to the house hundreds of years ago. Wang Miaoyi is satisfied with the effect she has made. She leads Lin Luoran and Baojia through the dining room. There is a small door leading to the backyard. Looking at the backyard, which is several times larger than the front yard, Baojia is amazed. She can't help spitting out a word. Chapter 36. Well, I've never seen the world, but I've seen pigs run. The Suzhou gardens on TV are much more beautiful than this. Lin Luoran tries to convince herself. However, when she thinks that she will probably buy this house, she immediately surrenders to the beautiful scenery in front of her. A small island is dug in the backyard, and a wooden bridge is built. In the middle of the island are 2 small bamboo houses, surrounded by a circle of green bamboos. Out of the corner gate, a cobblestone path leads to the wooden bridge. On both sides of the path are camellias, which are as half a person's height. Along the corner, there are grape trellises and bamboo poles. It seems that many vegetables such as cowpeas and loofah have been planted. On the left side of the backyard, there is an exquisite embroidery building. When you go upstairs, you can have a panoramic view of the street. There are carved beams and painted rafters. In the corner of the building, there are small copper bells that ring in the wind. It is indescribably beautiful. The open space between the wall and the pond is used by the owner to plant vegetables. There are several rows of cabbages that can be harvested in winter. Bamboo and vegetables are a mixture of elegance and vulgarity. It feels like an ancient country gentleman's mansion. The problem is that it is the 21st century, and our city is a metropolis of steel and cement. Isn't it weird that there is such a place on the second ring road? Sister Wang, how much does this house cost? Lin Luoran swallows her saliva in an unladylike way. She estimates that she has less than 5 million yuan left. She can't even afford these wooden houses, let alone these houses, which are 2 acres of land. Lin Luoran still remembers that when she just dropped out of school, her school sold an old campus on the first ring road for 8 million yuan per mu. Now the land price of the second ring road is as high as that of the first ring road several years ago. Wang Miaoyi shakes her head and points to the vegetable field. You have to ask the owner. Lin Luoran and Baojia see a figure hiding among the camellias. Hearing Sister Wang's words, Lin Luoran and Baojia finally see him. It is an old man with white hair and a ruddy face wearing a straw hat. Wang Miaoyi turns into a charming girl and rushes to greet him. Uncle Jia. Seeing the old man smiling at her, Lin Luoran scratches her head and greets him. Master Jia. Wang Miaoyi is shocked. Do you know Uncle Jia? Old Mr. Jia nodded. This is my new disciple. Wang Miaoyi is surprised. Her family has been friends with Mr. Jia for generations. She has known Mr. Jia's ability since she was a child. When she and Fatty Chui were having sex, she took Fatty Chui to see Mr. Jia and hoped that he could take him as his apprentice. The elders of the Wang family naturally agreed. Of course, Fatty Chui doesn't have this qualification, but he doesn't give up. He talks arrogantly and asks the old man to beat him with a big stick. The past is always beautiful. Thinking of the past, Wang Miaoyi smiles all over her face. She says, "What a coincidence. Sister, I didn't know we had such a relationship. We are really destined to be sisters." Old Mr. Jia waved goodbye and invited the three of them to a small bamboo house in the middle of the island. There were tables and chairs made of bamboo. It turned out to be a small tea room. Baojia has always been fierce. Even she is shocked by such a sage-like old man, and such an elegant bamboo building. Her every move becomes much more elegant. Lin Luoran blushes. Master Jia, I didn't know this was your house. It is the first time for her to come to her master's house. She is too embarrassed to come empty-handed. Old Mr. Jia seems to know what she is thinking. He pours tea for the three of them and says leisurely, "It's okay. You don't have to be so polite. I know you quite well. Let's not talk about things far away. Just look at that ginseng. You're willing to give it to me, your master, so how could you be a petty person?" Lin Luoran blushes even more and says, "Sister Wang didn't tell me about this house. I can't afford this house." She is also afraid that the old man is really in need of money. The more hopeful he is, the more disappointed he will be. She better make it clear that she really can't afford this house now. Old Mr. Jia laughs. "How much money do you have now?" "Less than 5 million. "Well, I guess I can only buy this wooden house." Master Jia then asks about Lin Luoran's work and family situation. He doesn't laugh at her for overestimating herself. When he hears that Lin Luoran wants to buy a house with a garden because her parents are bored in their old age, he approves of Lin Luoran more. Lin Luoran's family is not rich. She only has 5 million yuan. However, she is willing to give a Tai Chi master, who has only been an apprentice for half a month, a ginseng worth more than 500,000 yuan. She is also kind to her parents. There is no other explanation except that she is a filial daughter. I asked Miao Yi to sell this house on my behalf. It was originally priced at 30 million yuan. Since you want it, 20 million is acceptable. Don't be in a hurry to refuse. You can pay 5 million as the down payment. I'm not in a hurry to use money. You can pay the rest to Sue slowly. Although 20 million yuan is a sky-high price for ordinary people, Lin Luoran knows that even the land here can be sold at this price. Not to mention old Mr. Jia's painstaking efforts on this house, and the buildings that are suspected to be antiques. Baojia almost spits out a mouthful of tea. It's not that she dislikes the price, but that she can get 10 million yuan cheaper just by calling master. Why didn't she encounter such a good thing? The problem is that she knows that Lin Luoran doesn't have so much money. Does she have to gamble on stones again? Although Lin Luoran has become a little mysterious recently, can she really win every time? Baojia is also worried about the house. Master Jia, you don't need money urgently. Why do you still want to sell such a good house? Such an elegant old house is the best place for old age. Lin Luoran is afraid that old Mr. Jia has some difficulties, so she asks this question. Don't worry about it. I have been thinking of moving to live with some old friends for a long time. This house is one of the private properties of my ancestors. It is better to sell it to someone who cherishes it than to give it to my children and grandchildren. Seeing that Lin Luoran is thinking, Mr. Jia doesn't urge her. He looks at the time and says while stroking his white beard, "It's almost time. Since you are here, I'll let you taste my cooking." Mr. Jia is going to cook for the three of them in person. Even Wang Miao-yi, who is usually bold, can't help but feel scared. She immediately winks at Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran says that as a disciple, she can't let her master work hard. Mr. Jia nods and agrees to let her help. Different from Commander Qin, who likes to eat big bowls of meat, Mr. Jia's food is obviously healthy. For example, this fragrant ball in cloud and mist doesn't sound like a dish, but it is made from fresh shrimps that are white and elastic. First, the shrimps are soaked in water mixed with ginger and onion for 2 hours to remove the fishy smell of the shrimps, and then add the flavor of ginger and onion. After 2 hours, Mr. Jia picks them up and minces them with several pieces of fat meat. Then, he soaks the mountain Zhongshan rain mist tea and mixes it with the shrimps. Finally, he stir-fries it with pine nuts and serves it with ketchup. It looks peaceful and elegant, not to mention eating it. The three of them don't come out of the house until the afternoon. Baojia rubs her belly. She likes the roasted ham with dried bamboo shoots very much. According to Mr. Jia, the bamboo shoots in the backyard are made of bamboo shoots. Luoran, this house is so comfortable. Why don't we buy it? Lin Luoran looks at the camphor tree on the wall, the black bricks, the black tiles, and the red pillars. It is really a tempting house. Mr. and Mrs. Lin will like it, right? The backyard is so big that the little boy can have a place to play. Chapter 37. Fatty Chui doesn't want Wang Miao-yi to know his worries. He can't tell his wife that a martial arts master bent a steel bar in front of him and demanded him to hand over some jade with Reiki. This is too unbelievable. Reiki only exists in those strange novels. How can an uneducated man like him know where to find it? Fatty Chui is very worried. He is fat and his life is cheap anyway. He is afraid that those hooligans will make trouble for Wang Miao-yi. Because of this, he has lost more than 10 kilograms in less than half a month, which makes Wang Miao-yi envious. As for Lin Luoran, she decides to cut the raw stone in Baojia's place first. If she can't raise enough money, she will think of another way. She doesn't have tools at home, but Lin Luoran is not stupid. She takes the raw stone to Lu's raw stone cutting yard and cuts the outer layer of the stone. It is almost finished. Anyway, it is a piece bigger than a bowl. The jade in the middle is not exposed. Lin Luoran does this so that people won't recognize it as the stone she bought with 500 yuan from Mr. Zhang. Since she got the breathing method from Master Jia, the trace of a cultivator has reminded Lin Luoran. She can't fill the jade with Reiki anymore. Who knows if someone can see it? If someone finds out about her mysterious bead, Lin Luoran doesn't have enough power to protect herself in front of cultivators. She knows the saying that treasuring a jade causes trouble. It seems that she has to keep a low profile. When the raw stone is almost cut, Lin Luoran calls Fatty Chui. Wang Miao-yi has mentioned that Lin Luoran is going to buy Mr. Chui's house at home. At that time, Fatty Chui asked if Lin Luoran could lend some money to Wang Miao-yi. He has a good impression of Lin Luoran. Of course, Wang Miao-yi spat on his face. Do you think I'm a beggar? I don't want your handouts. Fatty Chui leaves in disgrace. He touches his nose and doesn't say anything. Hearing that Lin Luoran wants to sell raw jade, Fatty Chui has two reasons. Firstly, he is in urgent need of new raw jade because of the threat. Secondly, he wants to help Lin Luoran. There are not many people who can stand his wife's temper. Wang Miao-yi is good friends with her. Hearing Fatty Chui's excitement on the phone, Lin Luoran doesn't think much about it. She has met Fatty Chui a few times. Although Fatty Chui looks like a nouveau riche with a tacky gold chain, he is not domineering at all. Instead, he is always smiling. He is a nice fatty. Fatty Chui's family lived in an old villa area in our city, which was home to the first batch of rich people in our city, and even the entire S province. It was a well-known rich area in the city. After all, it was a high-end villa area. Although so many years had passed, it was well protected and frequently renovated. The entire community was not old. On the contrary, because of the age, the original greenery was now deeply rooted. The trees were tall, and the leaves of French plane trees covered the bluestone paths. It looked very European. Wang Miao-yi is busy in the company, so there are only Fatty Chui and two nannies at home. Brother Chui, why are you alone at home? Is your child at school? Standing in the basement, Lin Luoran asks casually while watching Fatty Chui wiping the stones. Fatty Chui looks up and sighs. Sister Wang didn't tell you about this. It seems that she still cares about it. We didn't have a child because of our health. Lin Luoran is shocked. Fatty Chui and Wang Miao-yi are both in their 40s, but they still haven't had children. No wonder Sister Wang never talks about children like other women. It turns out that she doesn't have children. Lin Luoran is too rash. Luckily, she didn't ask in front of Sister Wang. Lin Luoran is still regretting, but Fatty Chui doesn't mind. It's not a big deal if we don't have a child. In my opinion, we can adopt one to inherit our family business. Your Sister Wang is so anxious that she has taken so many medicines for this. She has ruined her health. You should persuade her when you have the chance. I really think it's a good idea to adopt one. So, Sister Wang's current figure and skin condition are caused by too many medicines? Lin Luoran thinks that the gift she is about to give to Wang Miao-yi should be effective. Every woman loves to look beautiful. Compared to that, the glory of motherhood is even greater. Wang Miao is even willing to sacrifice her body and appearance. Lin Luoran sighs involuntarily. The stone without skin in Fatty Chui's hand is brought by Lin Luoran. Because the stone is small, it can't be cut. Lin Luoran can only rub it slowly. Of course, if Lin Luoran doesn't believe that there is jade in the stone, Fatty Chui would never believe that there is jade in such a small stone. When the stone is about to rub the place with jade, the nanny shouts from upstairs that Fatty Chui is calling. Fatty Chui spits out a mouthful of dust and goes upstairs to answer the phone while swearing. Lin Luoran stays in the basement for the time being. After more than 10 minutes, Fatty Chui still hasn't come down. The nanny brings Lin Luoran a cup of scented tea. Lin Luoran knows that she has to wait, so she starts to look around the basement. This is the basement floor of Fatty Chui's villa. The two basements have been converted into workrooms. Fatty Chui and Wang Miao each have a workroom for storage and cutting of high-end materials. It seems that Fatty Chui trusts Lin Luoran a lot. Broken jade can be seen everywhere. If Lin Luoran has bad intentions, she can take away a high-end one, and it may not be found out. However, Fatty Chui leaves Lin Luoran here alone. Although there is surveillance, it shows that Fatty Chui is generous. There is a bowl-sized piece of jade on the workbench. It is a rare black jade with a little white and green. The three colors are intertwined, and the color band is not clear. The carving tools are beside it, but the jade is covered with a thick layer of dust. Maybe Fatty Chui hasn't decided how to cut it. Recently, Lin Luoran knows more about jade and loves it more and more. Seeing the raw material, she can't help but feel tempted. When she is about to pick it up and take a closer look, Fatty Chui finally comes back after answering the phone. Sister Lin, do you like that piece of jade? I bought it and thought about it for a long time. It is difficult to cut it. I will sell it to you for 800,000 yuan. What do you think? Lin Luoran teases. Brother Chui, don't pretend to be a profiteer in front of me. If you really sell it to me, you will regret it. What are you going to carve? Fatty Chui smiles bitterly. The patterns in the jade industry are all the same. The color band is too messy. It is a pity that the material will be wasted. I have discussed with several masters. It is best to carve the 7 sages of the bamboo forest. It is a pity that they can't all wear white clothes. High-grade jade is not like the ones sold in the mall, where jade and cabbages are the most beautiful. The artistic conception is the most important. Lin Luoran ponders for a while and suddenly smiles. I have an idea. Maybe it can save your material. But don't laugh at me if I am wrong. Fatty Chui nods. Of course, of course. Lin Luoran bursts into laughter. Brother Chui, think about what kind of place our city is. Black, white and green are such beautiful colors. How can we lose money? What kind of place is our city? Fatty Chui is not a native of our city, but he has lived here for so many years. He knows our city very well. It has been a famous plain and fertile land since ancient times. In recent years, everyone knows it as a leisure city. Ginkgo and hibiscus are planted everywhere. It is a good place with beautiful scenery and pleasant weather. Fatty Chui thinks further and further. Wait, in addition to hibiscus and ginkgo tea, the most famous one is, Fatty Chui pats his thigh. Oh, I am such a pig head. Seeing Fatty Chui frowning with regret, Lin Luoran comforts him. Brother Chui, you can't see clearly because you are closely involved. I just said it casually. I don't know whether it will work or not. Fatty Chui is no longer worried. He laughs. Why not? I will find someone to carve it into a panda-eating bamboo and sell it to the local rich people in our city. If I don't sell it at twice the price, I will not be Chui. They talk and laugh for a while. Fatty Chui is about to continue rubbing the stone. Fatty Chui pats his head. Look at my bad memory. I almost forget the business again. Sister Lin, I heard from your sister Wang that you are interested in old Jia's house and need money. Is that true? There is nothing to hide. Lin Luoran doesn't deny it. She pouts. What old Jia? He is my master. Fatty Chui laughs. Sister, I just received a phone call. It said that there is a batch of good raw materials at the border of Burma. Are you interested? Recently, Lin Luoran has a deeper understanding of the jade industry. She is no longer the clueless little girl she used to be. It takes hundreds of millions of years for jade to form underground. There are only a few jade-producing areas in the world. With the excessive production, the Burmese government has begun to control the raw jade stones in recent years. The Burmese public auction is conducted by the government. The raw jade stones are auctioned together to guarantee the price of jade. Now is not the time for the public auction. What about the border? Lin Luoran suspects that Fatty Chui is going to take the secret route. She asks gently. Fatty Chui laughs wretchedly. Of course it's not the open way. Humans die for wealth as birds die for food. If someone can pay, someone can break through the blockade and transport the raw materials out. What do you think, Sister Lin? Do you want to go with us? Let's cut this stone first. I need to think about it. Lin Luoran finishes her words and hears Fatty Chui howling. Chapter 38. Fatty Chui's lips are trembling, and his hands are shaking. He stares at the raw material in his hand with his eyes wide open. Seeing his twisted expression, Lin Luoran thinks that he really hurt his hand. She steps forward quickly. Oh, Brother Chui, it's all my fault. Why did you cut the stone? Fatty Chui turns back and stares at Lin Luoran. His eyes are full of fanaticism. Look. Look. He shows her the raw material that has been cut out. There are many stone chips on the jade. With the natural light in the basement, Lin Luoran just glances at it and sees the fascinating purple in the green. Well, she knows that the jade is not bad, but she doesn't expect it to be purple. It's violet. Lin Luoran is also surprised. Reiki can detect jade but not its color. Jade actually refers to yellow and red jade. Only green jade is called jade. Purple jade is rare. Fatty Chui jumps up and says, What violet? Be more professional. This is called spring color. Then he grabs the piece of spring color, as if he is disappointed. Lin Luoran touches her nose and smiles. She cleverly decides not to argue with a professional like Fatty Chui. Fatty Chui is crazy about jadeite. His fat hands are very flexible at this time, rubbing the stone. The jade seems to be spinning and jumping in his hands. Fatty Chui doesn't have time to wipe the sweat on his forehead until he puts it into a basin of clean water. It is convenient and quiet to cut the stone in the basement. Lin Luoran also plans to buy a full set of tools and cut the stone by herself after buying Master Jia's house. It is indeed a good plan for convenience and safety. When Fatty Chui takes the jade out of the basement, the nanny of the Chui's family knows a little about jade. Seeing the jade in Fatty Chui's hand, she covers her mouth and exclaims, What a beautiful spring color! Mr. Chui is going to make a fortune again. Fatty Chui looks back at Lin Luoran proudly. Lin Luoran blushes when she hears that the nanny can accurately call out the name of the jade. She coughs and starts to talk about something else. Fatty Chui lets her go and says to the nanny, Go call the madam and ask her to come back to take a look at the jade. The nanny had just run away like a wisp of smoke, but she ran back with a tinkling sound. Madam is back. Wang Miao. He knows that Lin Luoran wants to sell the stone after cutting it. Wang Miao. He has been thinking about it in the company, so she hurries back after finishing her work. Luckily she is here. Hey, what a coincidence. Wang Miao. He sees the jade on the tray at first sight. Of course, my lady always. Fatty Chui is so good at flattering Wang Miao, that even Lin Luoran can't stand it anymore. He finally stops and presents the jade to Wang Miao. Madam, look at this. How is this a sister? It's clearly a god of wealth who can spit out money. Wang Miao laughs. Of course. Whose sister is she? Wang Miao's sister, of course. She stops abruptly as if something has swallowed her words. She stares at the jade, and then at Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran's ears turn red. Wang Miao asks suspiciously, It's the color of spring? Sister, you're not just the god of wealth that spits out money. You're actually spitting out US dollars. Sister Wang, you and Brother Chui are bullying people together. Lin Luoran finally understands the feeling of the guy from Guangzhou, who left the stone-cutting workshop with his nose pinched. The husband and wife store is bullying people together. Wang Miao, he comes back and laughs for a while. She takes off her coat and hands it to the maid to hang. This piece of spring is more valuable than the apple green you sold last time. Why don't you sell it to me, sister? There is a light purple color in the green. The purple color is deep, and the color is not broken. The water is good and the texture is delicate. The jade is bigger than a fist. Even a dabbler like Lin Luoran knows that it is valuable. Of course, the size of Lin Luoran's fist and Fatty Chui's fist are of two different levels. If the size of the jade is bigger than Lin Luoran's fist, it can only cut one bracelet. If the size of the jade is bigger than Fatty Chui's fist, it can cut two bracelets. Good things come in pairs. The price of the jade is more than double. Fatty Chui rubs his nose. Thinking of the inexplicable Reiki, he really wants to buy this jade. However, seeing that Wang Miao seems to like it, he doesn't say anything. Lin Luoran is going to sell it anyway. Of course, it's better to sell it to one of her friends. Therefore, she answers readily. Okay, Sister Wang, name your price and I'll buy it. Wang Miao holds Lin Luoran's hand. You are really my good sister. Good jade is hard to find nowadays. How about 20 million yuan? Lin Luoran is speechless. Master Jia's house was sold to her for 20 million yuan, and Sister Wang was there. Now Wang Miao offers 20 million yuan. Isn't it obvious that Wang Miao wants to help her? Although it is normal for friends to help each other, Lin Luoran knows that friendship is mutual. If one side keeps giving, and the other side keeps accepting without giving back, even the best relationship will deteriorate. Lin Luoran shakes her head and looks at Fatty Chui. Brother Chui, tell me the real price. If you fool me again, I'll sell it. Fatty Chui rubs the huge gold ring on his hand and says submissively, 20 million yuan is not profitable, but 18 million yuan is still available. Lin Luoran looks at Wang Miao with a smile. Wang Miao rubs her forehead helplessly. 18 million yuan is fine. I've never seen anyone who can't live with money. Lin Luoran shakes her head. That's not true. Business is business. Otherwise, how can we keep in touch for a long time? It's not worth it to ruin our friendship sooner or later. Fatty Chui nods. Madam, Luoran understands this better than you do. Wang Miao glares at him. Who are you to talk to? Fatty Chui smiles apologetically and changes the topic. Mr. Zhang asked me to go to Myanmar. He said that there is a lot of jade there. I invited Luoran to go with me. What do you think, madam? Wang Miao frowns. I also got the news. Not to mention Treasure House, even Fortune House will go there. That Miss AI is so arrogant and annoying. Lin Luoran can buy a house after selling this piece of spring ribbon for 18 million yuan. She doesn't have to go there. Now that Sister Wang says so, if she doesn't go, it will seem that she is afraid of the shameless couple. Thinking of Ellie's ban order, Lin Luoran sneers. She must keep a low profile. If she messes with me again, I will make her suffer. She thought that there would be no response, but the little boy blinked his eyelashes shyly and nodded slowly. Not to mention Lin. Even Baojia and Officer Li are ecstatic. The little boy knows he should be called Luodong now. He begins to respond to the outside world. He has the hope to accept the world again. How can people not be happy? Lin Luoran and Baojia go to the mall and buy a lot of children's clothes for Luodong. After dressing him up, they take him back to their hometown. Lin Luoran has discussed the adoption of Luodong with her parents on the phone early in the morning. Knowing that their daughter's current income is enough to support one more person, Mr. and Mrs. Lin, who are kind people, easily agree. They are easy to agree. However, Mrs. Lin is still hesitant about moving the whole family to our city. She hasn't agreed yet. Lin Luoran takes Luodong back today for two reasons. One is to go through the adoption procedures. The other is to persuade her parents to go to our city. The Lin family is an outsider. People in the Li's village always bully the weak and fear the weak. Except for Auntie Li's family. Few people really treat the Lin family as villagers. The Lin family is just an ordinary neighborhood. Besides, Li Anping's family lives in the same village. Lin Luoran doesn't want her parents to stay in the Li's village. Lin Luoran drives the car and buys a big bag of gifts, including high-end cigarettes, alcohol, and healthcare products for Auntie Li's family. Today, she is not as lucky as last time. It is raining, and the last part of the road is bumpy. If the chassis of the car is not high, the car will stall several times on the road. Lin Luoren turns around and looks at Luodong on the passenger seat. He is wearing new clothes and shoes. His face is chubbier this month. His eyes are as clear and shy as a deer's. His mouth is tightly closed, making him look cute. He is even prettier than ordinary girls. Mr. and Mrs. Lin will definitely like such a cute kid. Lin Luoren sighs in her heart and tells Luodong to greet him. Luodong blinks and nods heavily. Lin Luoren chuckles. Ever since she gave Luodong a new name, he has changed from a dependent person to an obedient person. He only listens to Lin Luoren. Baojia and Officer Li saved his life together, but Luodong ignores them. Baojia complained for a long time and complained that it was unfair. When Lin Luoren gets home, it is still raining. The yard is covered with muddy water. Mrs. Lin comes out with a bowl of rice in her hand. Seeing it is her daughter, she says to Mr. Lin, "Come out, Luodong is back." Mrs. Lin greets Lin Luoren and asks if she has eaten and if she is tired from driving. Lin Luoren tells Mr. and Mrs. Lin that she came home after eating. She opens the car door and waves to Luodong. "Luodong, come out. We are home." Luodong is wearing a pair of military boots, so it is okay for him to step on the muddy ground. When he sees a middle-aged woman standing in front of him, he calls her Mrs. Lin. When Mr. Lin comes out of the house, he calls her Mr. Lin. He looks timid and polite. Mrs. Lin is so busy holding the bowl that she forgets to eat. Hearing the timid Mrs. Lin feels sad. She wants to touch Luodong's head, but then she remembers that her hand is full of cuts. She is afraid that Luodong will cry out in pain. She smiles and says, "This is the kid. He is so good-looking." Lin Luoren nods. "I named him Luodong. What do you think, Mom?" Mr. Lin puts down the bowl and shouts, "It is so cold. Come in and talk." Lin Luoren doesn't even have time to react. She holds Luodong in her arms and looks at him. "Lin Luodong, what a nice name. I found a son at my old age. Now I have a son and a daughter. I'm so proud to meet my ancestors. Haha." Mr. Lin is a man of few words. Lin Luoren rarely sees him so happy. She is not worried that Mr. and Mrs. Lin might not be able to accept Luodong. Instead, she looks at Luodong worriedly, afraid that he will resist such contact. However, Luodong tilts his head and looks at Mr. Lin's beard for a while. Maybe it is because of the cold winter wind. Luodong shrinks into Mr. Lin's arms. Chapter 40. Mrs. Lin is chopping the meat into pieces, and Mr. Lin is smoking silently. They have known that Lin Luoren is going to buy a house a few days ago. Mr. and Mrs. Lin feel proud when their daughter asks them to move to the provincial capital together. However, they are still hesitant because they are worried about the mess at home. Aunt Li has always been close to the Lin family. Lin Luoren invites Aunt Li to persuade Lin Luoren and Aunt Li. Lin Luoren continues to say, "We don't have pigs at home, just a few chickens and ducks. I can entrust the house to my aunt, Mom and Dad. If you want to come back for a few days, you can come back anytime. Come to the provincial capital with me." There is something Lin Luoren doesn't say. In fact, she hopes that her parents can cultivate with her. Otherwise, she will be the only one in the world after 100 years. What's the point of cultivating to immortality? Auntie Li tries to persuade him again. Mr. Lin is silent for a while and puts out the cigarette, but, "We will listen to you. We can move there at any time." Lin Luoren smiles happily. Mrs. Lin feels wronged. There are so many cars and people in the city. It's not as good as the countryside. Mr. Lin widens his eyes. "Isn't it good for you to enjoy your life? Besides, our daughter has to go to work. Who will take care of Luodong? Do you think that Luodong can be taken care of by others?" Mrs. Lin turns around and looks at Luodong. Luodong stares at her with his watery eyes. Luodong can understand them. Mrs. Lin's heart softens and finally agrees to move to the capital. Lin Luoren chuckles. Sure enough, Mr. Lin has the final say in the family. Mrs. Lin is just a paper tiger. Auntie Li clapped her hands. That's right. In my opinion, only Xiao Ran is capable in the whole village. When will she move? Can you bring your auntie to experience the houses in the provincial capital? Though Lu Zheng is Baojia's fiancée, Lin Luoran is just a saleswoman of Treasure House. It is not good for her to ask for leave all the time. In this way, rumors are flying among the saleswomen. Therefore, Lin Luoran wants to settle everything at once. She says to her mother expectantly, "Why don't we move today? Also, let second aunt go together to recognize the door, so that it will be more convenient for us to move around in the future." Lin Luoran says that everything is there, and they can leave right away. Mrs. Lin still insists on packing some clothes and feeding the chickens and ducks. Lin Luoran says that everything is there, and they can leave right away. Mrs. Lin still insists on packing some clothes and feeding the chickens and ducks at home. Of course, she doesn't forget to take the minced meat. Auntie Li had never driven a luxury car before. She touched the leather sofa in the car and was speechless. "This car must have cost a lot," Xiao Ran. Second Luoran. "No matter how expensive the car is, it is for people, isn't it? You can just treat it as a motorcycle." "Nonsense. Riding a motorcycle in the middle of winter, the wind will hurt your head. It's not as warm as here." Luoran Lin sits. Luan Luoran Luo sweet and Luoran car. Lin's Luoran car. Li and Luoran Lin, and Luoran sat sitting in. Lin Luoran's parents are sitting in the back seat. They are not as relaxed as Auntie Li. Lin Luoran feels sad when she thinks that her parents have been excluded in the Li's village, a place where people are judged by their surname, for a long time. The backyard of the house is so big. Mr. and Mrs. Lin will be very busy. Lin Luoran decides to let them grow vegetables for fun. As for Li Anping's family, Lin Luoran sneers when she drives out of the village. Granny Li is hiding behind the door and looking at her with resentment. From now on, they will be worlds apart. Lin Luoran will never have a chance to pester them again. That will be great. Auntie Li doesn't feel anything different when the car enters the alley. Lin Luoran opens the door and drives the car into the yard. They get out of the car. Auntie Li sees the carved pillars and the red plum blossoms under the porch. Her voice becomes lower and lower, and she feels that she is getting shorter and shorter. Luodong has been here once, but he still can't get enough of it. Lin Luoran gives him an encouraging look, and the little boy throws fish food to the koi in the pond. Mr. Lin even forgets to smoke. Mrs. Lin is holding the red pillar in a daze. Lin Luoran leads her to the kitchen. The modern kitchen utensils are bright and clean, totally different from the blackened chimney in the countryside. Mrs. Lin has touched all of them and loves them all. Auntie Li is still in a daze in the yard. She looks at the fat koi and murmurs. People say that houses in big cities are all made of cement. How can there be such a yard? The daughter of the village had married a man from the provincial city. I heard that the house is worth more than 1 million yuan, but the yard is only the size of a palm. How much money does it cost? Granny Li says that Luoran has a sugar daddy. Which sugar daddy is so generous? While Auntie Li is still thinking, Lin Luoran calls her from the porch. "Auntie, there is another house in the backyard. Let's go and have a look." Auntie Li sees Lin Luoran waiting for her at the door with a smile. Lin Luoran is not arrogant at all after making a fortune. Everyone has their difficulties. Auntie Li thinks that only her family and the Lin family have a good relationship. She is happy all of a sudden. Luoran has been a hard-working girl since she was a child. It is Mrs. Lin's fault that she promised to marry Mrs. Li's son. Fortunately, it is not too late. There is no good person in Mrs. Li's family. While thinking, Auntie Li goes through the corner door to the backyard. The two-story building in front is magnificent enough. It turns out that there is a small exquisite building in the backyard. Auntie Li asks Lin Luoran, "What is this?" Seeing that Mr. and Mrs. Lin are also listening attentively, Lin Luoran smiles and explains. In ancient times, the place where a girl lives should avoid people. This is the embroidery building. I guess this house used to be bigger than this. There is only one front and one backyard. Even the courtyard is not complete. It doesn't look like the style of a rich family in ancient times. I guess our neighbors used to be one family. Auntie Li yells. So this is an antique. Oh my God, this is not complete? Even the place where the former magistrate lived is not as good as this, right? Mrs. Lin laughs, and the wrinkles on her face stretch out. Mrs. Lin seems to be 10 years younger. You're so talkative. I've never seen anyone who can talk better than you. Then she says to Lin Luoran, the embroidery building is good. Luoran, you can live here. The main house in front is also 2-story. Mom, you can live upstairs. It is always humid in our city. It is better to live on the 2nd floor. Chapter 41. However, isn't the man in a suit and gold-rimmed glasses, Lu Zheng, standing behind Baojia? Mr. and Mrs. Lin have met Baojia before. They know that Baojia is nice to Lin Luoran, and they like her very much. However, they are a little nervous when they see Lu Zheng, who is obviously not in the same class as them. Fortunately, Fatty Chui is busy today, or else the gold necklace on his neck will be too dazzling. Although Wang Miao Yi is rich, she looks tanned and strong. Mrs. Lin thinks that she is from the same country as Wang Miao Yi. Lu Zheng carries 2 big bags of gifts and calls them uncle and auntie in a gentle way. Auntie Li sighs to Mrs. Lin behind Lu Zheng's back. Luoran is so rich now. She makes friends with people of high status. Putting herself in Auntie Li's shoes, no matter how good their relationship is, Mrs. Lin will also feel a little uncomfortable when she sees that Auntie Li's family suddenly becomes rich. Mrs. Lin pats Auntie Li's shoulder and says, "What are you talking about? No matter how rich she is, she still has to call you Auntie." Auntie Li starts to pick vegetables with peace of mind. Lu Zheng is not a talkative person. Seeing such a delicate house, he can't help but smile while drinking tea in the living room. Living in a house worth 20 million yuan and receiving a salary of several thousand yuan from Treasure House. It will be good publicity for us. Rich sister Lin, do you want to think about it? If you cooperate with us, we can also get some publicity. Seeing that Lin Luoran blushes, Baojia punches Lu Zheng. Master Lu, you have a lot of luxurious houses. I've never embarrassed you like this. Lu Zheng stops talking about this and starts to talk about business with Wang Miaoyi. Fortune House used to be the biggest business in the province. Since the Lus moved in, Fortune House has gradually formed an alliance with retail investors like Wang Miaoyi and Fatty Chui. Therefore, they have a lot of business dealings and can talk about business together. Seeing that they are talking about business, Baojia drags Lin Luoran to help in the kitchen. As for Mr. Lin, he is dull and afraid that he will say something wrong to embarrass his daughter. So he takes Luodong to the backyard to fish. Needless to say, the vegetables are all from Lin Luoran's space. They are freshly picked and cooked. The beef and pork ribs are bought by Baojia. And Sister Wang comes with a box of wine, which is in line with her style. Baojia is not a delicate young lady who doesn't do housework. She knows how to wash rice, pick vegetables, and even some simple dishes. When Lin and Luoran arrive, Mrs. Lin is collecting the sauce for the braised pork. The lean meat is soft, and the fat is oily but not greasy. This is Mrs. Lin's specialty. When Lin was a child, her family was poor, so she could only eat this bowl of braised pork on festivals. Lu Zheng, Baojia, and Sister Wang all grew up eating fine dishes in the city. Lin Luoran is afraid that they are not used to Mrs. Lin's greasy dishes. She asks Mrs. Lin to take a rest and prepares to cook 2 more dishes. Baojia doesn't hesitate and steals a piece of braised pork. She screams when she is scalded and gives a thumbs up to Mrs. Lin. Mrs. Lin, who was a little disappointed when Baojia took away her right to cook, laughs out loud. Lin Luoran takes 2 cabbages produced in her space. She only chooses the tender part in the middle and cuts it into thin strips. She steams it and pours some sour sauce on it. She makes a delicious cabbage dish. The topaz texture of the cabbage is decorated with 2 pieces of coriander leaves, which is pleasing to the eye. As for the unused leaves, Baojia volunteers to chop them up with a knife and feed them to the koi. The koi are lazy when they are feeding the koi because the food is too fat. However, when they smell the cabbages in the space, they crazily fight for them. Baojia's shout attracts Auntie Li to go out to watch. Only Lin and Mrs. Lin are left in the kitchen. Mrs. Lin looks at the living room and asks Lin Luoran about the relationship between Lu Zheng and her. Lin Luoran's forehead is covered with cold sweat. She explains that they are just ordinary friends, but Mrs. Lin doesn't believe her. She lowers her head and keeps chopping the pork ribs. Lin Luoren feels helpless. She has to tell Mrs. Lin that Lu Zheng is Bao Jie's fiancé, to make Mrs. Lin believe that they have nothing to do with each other. However, Lin Luoren has good hearing. She hears Mrs. Lin murmurs, "What a pity. God knows what she is talking about." After Bao Jia and Auntie Li feed the fish, Luodong runs back to the kitchen with a big silver carp in his arms. The boy is so excited that his face turns red. He looks at Lin Luoren expectantly. Mr. Lin is fishing in the back garden. Lin Luoren asks gently, "Did you catch it?" The boy nods. "Mr. Lin." It is not easy for him to talk to people. Lin Luoren doesn't want to force him, as long as he can understand. It seems that Mr. Lin caught the fish. The water in the pond is clear. Lin Luoren doesn't know that there is such a big silver carp in it. Seeing that Luodong is struggling to catch the slippery fish, Lin Luoren takes a basin and says to Mrs. Lin, "It seems that there are a lot of fish in the pond. Let's drain the water and catch them slowly." Bao Jia nods. "Don't forget to ask me to catch the fish." Haha. Lin Luoren spits on her. "You are a lady. You are more excited than anyone else." Queen Bao Jia pretends to tickle her, which makes Mrs. Lin and Auntie Li laugh. Even Luodong is smiling. Looking at the big silver carp, Mrs. Lin is in a dilemma. It's a pity that it smells too fishy. Otherwise we can steam it. Lin Luoren presses her mother's shoulder. "Go have a rest. I'm going to make a silver carp hot pot. I promise there will be no fishy smell." Hearing that, Auntie Li quickly kills the fish and cuts it into thick slices. She puts the slices in a water made of white wine, salt, pepper, balsamic vinegar, ginger and onions to get rid of the fishy smell. Lin Luoren also puts 2 spoonfuls of beer in it. Bao Jia is amazed. She stretches her neck and is ready to learn a special dish. Even Luodong is staring at her without blinking. Lin Luoren wonders if Luodong is a boy who likes cooking. Seeing that Bao Jia wants to learn, Lin Luoren takes out the fish, which has been soaked for 2 minutes, and asks her to cut the flavor. Auntie Li laughs. How can she? She cracks an egg, puts the egg white on the fish and adds seasoning. Bao Jia finally gets the job of stirring. She is enjoying stirring the fish with a pair of long chopsticks. Seeing that Luodong is interested, Bao Jia hands the chopsticks to him. Both of them are in high spirits. Lin Luoren cuts a large plate of pickled ginger, pickled peppers, and pickled cabbage. She stir-fries them with lard and vegetable oil. Then she adds pickled cabbage and other ingredients. She adds millet and chili rings and finally, she adds the soup. When the soup boils, the silver carp can be cooked for 3 minutes. She sprinkles some coriander and chopped green onions on it. The aroma is appetizing. At the dining table, seeing that all the dishes are on the table, Wang Miao, he points at a plate of tomato salad. "Is this the same as the one you brought to my house?" Lin Luoren nods and Wang Miao, he focuses on the plate of tomato salad. Bao Jia is biting cabbage and staring at the silver carp hot pot. Auntie Li sees that everyone is eating the ingredients. She thinks while eating the braised pork, city people are weird. They only eat vegetables but not meat. Wait, why are Lin Luoren and Lin Luoren also vegetarian? Auntie Li tries to pick up a piece of stir-fried spinach. The crisp and sweet taste of the spinach makes Auntie Li give up her braised pork immediately. She keeps eating. The vegetables of Lin Luoren are so delicious. This is the only thought in Auntie Li's mind. After dinner, Auntie Li has to go back tomorrow. Lin Luoren goes to see Lu Zheng and the others off. Wang Miao, he is a woman of action. After eating and drinking, she steps on the gas and disappears with a pile of vegetables in her arms. Though winter in our city is not as cold as the north, the wind is chilly at night. Lu Zheng opens the car door. He seems to remember something. He holds the door and asks, "Mrs. Cui told me that you are also going?" Lin Luoren is at a loss for a moment. After a few seconds, she realizes that Lu Zheng is talking about the trip to the border between China and Burma. She feels a little embarrassed. Lin Luoren is paid by Mrs. Lu, but she always asks for leave to deal with personal affairs. She doesn't know how to explain it to Lu Zheng. Lu Zheng seems to see through her embarrassment. He says with a smile, "I see that you are very interested in stone gambling. Mrs. Chui also said that you are talented. How about changing from a teller to a consultant? Your salary will be the basic salary plus commission. What do you think? In fact, Wang Miao's original words are that Lin Luoran is the god of fortune who can give out US dollars. She is so lucky that it will be a pity if she doesn't make the best use of her talent. Lin Luoran has long felt that the job of selling jewelry and jade is not suitable for her, as she gets busier and busier. However, she doesn't want to give up the Reiki of Treasure House, which is free for her. Lu Zheng's suggestion makes everyone happy. Lin Luoran only needs to pick some raw stones every time. The stones won't be too outstanding, and the Lus won't lose money. Then she will have an excuse to absorb Reiki everywhere, which is perfect for her. How can Lin Luoran refuse Lu Zheng's suggestion? She nods and agrees with Lu Zheng. Is Baojia going? Baojia is wearing thick cotton clothes. She is still freezing and her teeth are chattering. No. I will go to the capital with my grandpa in a few days. I don't know when I will come back. The queen sniffs inelegantly and laughs. You have to keep an eye on Lu Zheng for me in case he falls in love with a girl from Yunnan. It's best for him to be a close guard. Lu Zheng pushes his glasses, and Lin Luoran looks up at the sky. Lin Luoran glares at him and goes back. Let's not talk about how Lin Luoran will explain to her parents how she can afford such a big house. On the way, Lu Zheng and Baojia are on their way. Baojia notices the smile on Lu Zheng's face. She pouts and says, "You should have told me earlier if you like me. Reserved people won't get anything from me." Lu Zheng is so shocked that he stops abruptly and almost hits the guardrail on the side of the road. Baojia doesn't expect that her casual words are so powerful. She shrinks her neck and stops talking. Chapter 42. Lin Luoran is in no mood to talk to them. After treating Lu Mei and manager Zhou to dinner, she officially starts her new job. The job of purchasing is very flexible. When it's busy, Lin Luoran has to go on business trips. However, when it's normal, she has nothing to do. Lin Luoran stays at home to accompany Luodong. She also goes shopping with her parents, so that they can get familiar with their new living environment. According to Luodong's age, he should be in elementary school. However, his autism hasn't improved yet. Lin Luoran's family is worried about him going to school alone. Mr. and Mrs. Lin stay with Luodong for the time being. They are afraid that Luodong will lag behind his peers, so they have to teach him at home. Mr. Lin and Mrs. Lin both graduated from junior high school. In order to teach Luodong, they have nothing to do in the farm. They pick up books and study by themselves before teaching Luodong. Lin Luoran could hire a tutor for Luodong, but she doesn't since her parents are so busy. Lin Luoran has told her parents that she is cultivating. As for the space, they don't need to think about it. Of course, they want to be with their daughter. However, without Master Jia's explanation, the simple breathing method is very difficult to understand. Not to mention Mr. and Mrs. Lin. Even Lin Luoran has little knowledge on cultivation. Therefore, Mr. and Mrs. Lin read books when they have nothing to do. They don't want to be a burden to their daughter one day. Lin Luoran looks at her parents who are trying hard to learn the incantation and meditate. Lin Luoran finds a few cheap jade stones and forces the bead to spit out some Reiki that human body can absorb. Lin Luoran gives the spirit stones to her parents and then gets on the plane to Tengchong. Speaking of jade, people will think of Myanmar. Speaking of stone gambling, Tengchong is indispensable. Compared with the semi-public auction in Myanmar, stone gambling in Tengchong is obviously wilder. 2 days before Fatty Chui and his companions set off, Lu Zheng and Lin Luoran fall behind because of some personal affairs. An old master from Lu's family goes with them. He seems to be Lu Zheng's uncle. The three of them go straight to Tengchong. They don't even have time to wash up when they get off the plane. They change cars and start their journey again. It turns out that their destination is not Tengchong, but Ruili, Yunnan province, which is closer to the border of Myanmar. Compared with Tengchong, Ruili is a bit low-key. Ruili is located in the westernmost part of Yunnan, bordering Myanmar on the northwest, southwest and southeast. 2 towns in Myanmar, Sister Mu and Nankan, are adjacent to the villages in Ruili. In Ruili, It is not only 2 countries in one city and 2 countries in one village, but also 2 countries in one yard, 2 countries in one field, 2 countries in one house, and 2 countries in one well. The border line is delineated on the map. When it comes to the land, he finds that the border line passes through his yard, his well, and the village where his brothers live together. So the elder brother lived in Myanmar, and the younger brother lived in China. After sunbathing in the yard in Myanmar, they went to the living room in China for lunch. A chicken left its nest in China in the morning, and laid an egg in Myanmar in the afternoon. Rueli is to-to-to-in with to-world. With Lin. In China, Lu to-to-to-to-to-in. And to-li to-lin. Lin to with to do with to-to-lin. Luo and Lin. Luo is lito to-to-to-to with. Lin to Lu chi with her. To with to-to-to. Although Rueli is far away from the mainland, it is close to Myanmar, so Lu's family has an office here. However, the office is not as good as our city. Hearing that Lin Luoran is coming in person, manager Lu drives an old Mercedes-Benz to pick them up. Lin Luoran's bead can block the fog, but it can't block the dust. Like Lu Zheng and his companions, manager Lu feels travel-worn. In the evening, manager Lu offers to take the 3 of them to the night market in Rueli. Lu Zheng politely refuses and explains to Lin Luoran, "We've been here many times. We have to get up early tomorrow and wait for you. Why don't we go there on our way back?" There is no reason for manager Lu to ask others to accommodate her, so Lin Luoran agrees. In fact, Lu Zheng's uncle has a lot of opinions about Lin Luoran, a beautiful girl as a buyer. In his opinion, people can only touch the surface of raw jade gemstones in their whole life, let alone Lin Luoran, who is such a timid girl. Lu Zheng's uncle has been wondering whether Lin Luoran is Lu Zheng's girlfriend, but he uses her as a buyer to blame Lu Zheng for not distinguishing between public and private affairs. Lin Luoran has never figured out why the old man keeps looking at her in a strange way. She has to go back to her room to wash up and get ready for the next day. The next day, Lu Zheng knocks on the door when it is just dawn. Seeing that Lin Luoran is already dressed and waiting for departure, Lu Zheng's uncle feels much better. He feels that Lin Luoran is sensible and doesn't drag them down when it comes to important things. The 3 of them have a simple breakfast with local characteristics. Lu Zheng drives them to the destination without taking manager Lu. Lin Luoran has been to Zhishuangbana in Yunnan before. It was a beautiful memory, and it can't be more memorable now. The Dai people believe in Hinayana Buddhism. Like Zhishuangbana, there are many pagodas and temples in Rueli. Along the road, there are many fields planted with watermelon seedlings, subtropical dense jungles, and Dai women riding bicycles are all unique scenery in Rueli. Did you sleep well last night? Looking at Lin Luoran's quiet and beautiful side face, Lu Zheng asks for no reason. His uncle sitting in the back seat murmurs in his mind again. Lin Luoran stops looking around and notices the light blue color under Lu Zheng's eyes. She asks curiously, "Didn't you sleep well last night?" She has to call Lu Zheng manager in front of outsiders. Lu Zheng pushes up his glasses and says lightly, "I'm a bit picky about my bed." Then they stop talking. The atmosphere in the car is so quiet that it is weird. Looking at Lin Luoran's refreshed look, Lu Zheng feels a little bit angry. He doesn't know if manager Lu did it on purpose or not, but he gets his room next to Lin Luoran's. Thinking that Lin Luoran is sleeping next to his room, manager Lu, who has always been steady, feels insomnia for no reason. He tossed and turned on the bed like a pancake the whole night. This was something that Lu Zheng had never experienced in his 30 years of life. This abnormality made him a little panicky. Baojia said he likes her before they came here. The her is right beside him. Is this the feeling of love? Lin Luoran also feels that Lu Zheng is weird today. She can't tell what is wrong, but she can't help observing him. In her uncle's eyes, the 2 of them are flirting. With 3 people in the car with 3 different thoughts, the old Benz finally arrives at the destination. Chapter 43. Along the way, every house they passed by had a clean and spacious yard, a large backyard full of bananas, pomelos, and bamboos. There were traditional bamboo houses, as well as new two-story houses made of bricks and wood. In any case, every house was tall, tidy and bright. Many of them were still pasted with the traditional red door symbols in the Dai language. The fence around the garden is full of all kinds of flowers and plants. The bucket that was suspended high in the air was facing the well made of stone. It represented that this wealthy village still liked to water the fields and work according to their original way. Lin Luoran likes this environment very much, and she is quite interested in it along the way. Noticing that the Dai people are looking at them, Lin Luoran returns a kind smile. She always gets the same kindness back. Lin Luoran's uncle thinks that he is not used to trading raw stones in such an above-board place. He frowns and says, "Why did the Burmese people choose such a place this time? Nowadays, the insiders are acting more and more like outsiders." Lu Zheng is non-committal. The more dangerous the place is, the safer it will be. Who would have thought that we would meet here? A Dai man who is looking around comes up with a smile and says, "Friends from afar. Are you here for a trip?" He touches his nose 3 times with his right hand. "All right, we are introduced by Mr. Zhang. Our surname is Lu. Stop testing us." As expected, the Dai man smiles more sincerely and makes a gesture of invitation. Lin Luoran laughs inside. He is so cautious, as if he is meeting up with an underground gang. The Dai man leads Lin Luoran and the other 2 into a farmyard. Under the green leaves of the banana tree, there is a group of noisy people. At a glance, Boss Zhang, Sister Wang, and even the guy from Guangzhou from last time were all acquaintances. Including those he didn't know, there were a total of 20 to 30 people. They were all squeezed into this small farmyard, which was not too big. Of course, it gave off a noisy feeling. After greeting Sister Wang and chatting with Mr. Zhang, Lu Zheng introduces Lin Luoran to others as the new raw stone buyer of Lu's company. Some old people here have seen Lin Luoran cutting stones at Mr. Zhang's place last time. Hearing Lu Zheng's introduction, they all congratulate Lu's company for finding a goddess of luck. Of course, these are just superficial compliments. Lin Luoran doesn't know or care about what others think in their mind. Strange, where is Fatty Chui? While Lu Zheng and the host are chatting, Lin Luoran secretly looks around. Fatty Chui's figure is so obvious that he is not here. As expected, he saw Ali and Li Amping under a grapefruit tree. Miss AI is rich and has brought a few attendants with her. However, they are no match for the little bugs in Rueli. Red spots appear on her wrist, and she is losing her temper. Li Amping sees Lin Luoran as soon as she comes in. The average temperature in Rueli is 21 degrees all year round. Lin's physique is much better than before. Even though the temperature difference between day and night is huge, she only wears a thin camel windbreaker and wears her hair in a ponytail. She looks simple but beautiful. In fact, Li Amping wasn't the only one who was peeking at her. Those wealthy jade merchants were also peeking at her. There weren't many women who played stone gambling, let alone such a beautiful woman. Feeling Li Amping's resentful and hot eyes, Lin Luoran almost vomited. She really wants to tell Mr. Li that his current girlfriend is right next to him. Why are you showing your love to her? Lu Zheng also sees Ellie and her entourage. He remembers the quarrel between Ellie and Li Amping in Mr. Zhang's stone-cutting workshop. He takes a few steps forward and happens to block Li Amping's way of making eyes at him. Ellie saw Li Amping's expression, and a trace of ridicule flashed across her lips. A dark-skinned and thin Burmese man, who seems to be the leader of this time, asks in a foreign accent, "Is everyone here? Once everyone is here, we will begin." A third of Ali's face is covered by sunglasses. She says coldly, "You can't make us all wait for one person. Let's start." The Burmese man is not satisfied that someone takes away his right to speak. Seeing that it is a woman, he doesn't argue with her. Wait. Lin Luoran can tell that it is Fatty Chui who is panting in the yard. Fatty Chui came to Rueli a few days earlier than Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran doesn't know where he is. He didn't come with Sister Wang until now. Just when Lin Luoran is thinking about this, Fatty Chui rushes into the yard with sweat all over his face. Lin Luoran says with a smile, "Brother Chui, why are you so?" She stops when she sees the man following Fatty Chui. "Foppish Mu. What the hell? Why is he here?" Mu Tianen also sees Lin Luoran. His expression is as strange as a chameleon. In the end, he snorts with the same attitude as the last time they met. Lin Luoren looks at Fatty Chui, and then at Foppish Mu, whose face is as black as ink. Lin Luoren doesn't know what their relationship is. She just keeps silent, and pretends not to see Mu Tiannan. God, meeting an old friend in a foreign place, is really a test of one's endurance. Lin Luoren asks Wang Miaoyi in a low voice, "Who is this man?" However, Wang Miaoyi almost loses her temper. "Fatty Chui sold the spring color you brought to me a few days ago to Mu Tiannan. He knows that I like that piece of jade, but Fatty Chui rebelled for the first time. Mu Tiannan is forcing me to buy and sell it to him. Mu Tiannan is rich." Lin Luoren can tell from his arrogant attitude and his expensive sports car. That piece of spring color is good, but it is not the best jade in the world. Does he need to force me to buy it? Lin Luoren vaguely feels that something is wrong. She asks, maybe he is a good friend of Brother Chui, but Brother Chui bought it for him. "Sister Wang, don't be angry. We all know how Brother Chui treats you." Wang Miao, he looks better and complains to Lin Luoren. "What friendship? He just bought a piece of jade and asked us to carve it into the 8 Immortals' birthday party. This man is so strange. He even wants the leftovers. Where can we find more? Rich people are usually stingy, but it is not normal for a playboy like Wang Miao to be so stingy." Lin Luoren thinks for a while and lowers her voice. "But what's so special about that piece of jade that he is willing to pay for the leftovers?" Wang Miaoyi frowns and says after a while, "Only the water is better. Everything else is normal. I bought it from Mr. Zhang last time." "Oh, you were there that day. We just met." Lin Luoren becomes nervous when she hears that the raw stone was bought from Mr. Zhang. Then she hears that it was that day. God, could it be that it happened to be the primordial stone that he had probed with his spiritual energy? Is it the one that Brother Chui bought for 1.05 million yuan? Lin Luoren holds back her fear and pretends to remember it after a long time. "Sister, you have a good memory. Yes, it is that one. I shouldn't have sold it to him. It's so troublesome." Wang Miaoyi sighs. Although she says so, she does business for money. She will sell it to him no matter what. Lin Luoren is a little confused. No one in the world knows better than her what is so special about that spirit stone. That day when she used Reiki to detect the raw stone, the bead absorbed the Reiki in the jade. It is the first time that Lin Luoren has done such a thing. She feels guilty. Luckily, the bead understands her and gives her some peaceful and pure Reiki. Therefore, Fatty Chui's raw stone should be the first time that Lin Luoren transforms jade. Hearing what Foppish Mu did, Lin Luoren feels guilty. Lin Luoren secretly looks over there. Fatty Chui is introducing Foppish Mu to those jade dealers with a bitter face. Foppish Mu seems to notice Lin Luoren's gaze and looks over. Lin Luoren shrinks her neck. She suspects that it is not a coincidence that Foppish Mu asks her for the ginseng seeds. Does he really care about the ginseng seeds? Or does he want to find her after she transforms jade? You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.